I just wake up in the morning and I yell a lot, even though it's way too early. It's fun though. Wake up, wake up, wake up!
Wake up, wake up, wake up. Good morning once again. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. On this show, we talk about fitness related content from a home gym perspective and get your live reactions. This is important. We get your live reactions along the way. So that means I want to see you guys get active in the comment section. I don't want you to just watch it like it's TV or listen to it like it's the radio. I want to hear your opinions about all of the topics that we discussed today. I am John Greaves III. I am the co-founder of Garage Gym Life. And if this is your first time checking out this show, welcome again. And I promise you, you're in for a good time. We got a 3-hour show for you. Got a lot of content, interesting topics. So let's go ahead and dive into what's going on today. So in the first hour, we're going to have news and other things, plus a brand new recliner of rage. Once again, we have a guest who's angry, and we're going to give him a safe space to allow him to crash out on the internet. I cannot wait. Then in the second hour, we're going to react and respond to basically stuff I've seen on the internet. And then in the third hour, Dennis Solis from the brand new YouTube series Garage Gym for Vets is going to be joining the show. It's talking about this really cool project that he's gotten started in collaboration with RitFit. So I cannot wait to talk to him. So now you guys know what's going on. I want you to smash the like button, hit subscribe if you have not already done so. So if you're watching on YouTube, hit the subscribe button. If you're watching on Instagram, hit follow. Go to YouTube and find Garage Gym Life Media and hit subscribe. All right. No matter where you're watching, hit like, hit subscribe, hit the like button. Okay, because like I said, you're gonna enjoy this content. Now, you know what's going on, so let's go ahead and go visit the comment section and see who's here. I know there's some people here already. So Carp's Gym has been in the chat since 11:33 p.m. last night. That's a level of dedication that I don't even have, because I certainly wasn't here at 11:33 p.m. I was trying to sleep. I got about, that's actually not long after I go to bed, and about 2 hours before my dog woke me up because she had to go outside. But what can you do? Also here, let's see, Carlos. He got here at 4:53 a.m. Eastern time. He says, when you rename a day to Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life Media Day, you know it's a great day. I applaud your ability to turn that into that long phrase into an acronym, Carlos. But yeah, that's a lot. And then he said, wake up, wake up, wake up. What's up, Carlos? My guy, Jared Martin, who I just was talking to a second ago. He was here right after Carlos at 4:56. T-Dog 19, what's up, Trevor? Says, wake up, Eric Echoes. What's up, my man? Joey Work says, I'm late. Good morning. Hey, look, it's 6:02. You're here. I'm glad you're here. All right. And Kettlebell Carlos says, yo, what's up, Kettlebell Carlos? Appreciate you being here, man. All right, let's see who we got on Instagram. Turn my head and look at the Instagram. Icarus Strength, what's up? Appreciate you joining. Appreciate you joining the show. Now, you guys who are watching on Instagram, don't be shy. Go ahead, put your comments in there. In fact, let's do something. If you're watching and you are getting ready to work out, or you're going to work out later on today, put in the comment section what is on the menu for today. Like, what are you training today? You can put, I'm doing legs and back. You can say I'm doing bench press. So you can list the exercise. You can list the body part. You know, if you're doing body part split, whatever. If you're about to run 5 miles, put that in there. That's fine too. Okay. I want to know what you guys are doing today to get better today than you were yesterday. All right. So now that we've said what's up to everybody, let's go ahead and dive into our first segment, and that is news and other things. Let's go. Okay, first news item is a shout out. And I think that this shout out is actually 2 shout outs. First of all, shout out to you guys, because I don't know how many of you guys responded to this, but I know that I got the results I needed. All right. So the first thing is I got this bottle from Bold. Okay. Now you guys may remember that I think it was late last month, early this month. In Recliner of Rage, I did a rant where I was saying that, basically my guy Jared Martin had discovered that Bold was using my content, and I was like, oh well, they're using it without permission. So I went on a fairly comprehensive rant about why I don't like that. Okay, and I don't know how many of you guys reached out to them. I don't know if any of you did, but all I know is that after the show, maybe a day or so after the show, they responded to my email. So I had already DM'd them, I had already emailed them, but I hadn't heard from them. Then I did the show. I went on a rant and about how I didn't like that. And then after the show, I got a response from them saying basically we apologize. And I appreciate them, number one, for stepping up to apologize, because they said what happened is they are a small company and they hired a contractor to create a commercial for them for Instagram. That contractor then, I guess, went to YouTube and went looking for content that related to shaker bottles, because that's what they sell, shaker bottles, right? And he found my YouTube short because it's got a fair amount of views. It's got a significant number of views, and took it without asking. So they didn't know, and I believe them, they didn't know until until the whole brouhaha, right? So number one, shout out to them for stepping up and owning it. I feel like we can't call companies out for doing the wrong thing if we don't acknowledge when they do the right thing, right? I don't expect perfection. From anybody, we're all human. What I look for is what you do when you screw up. And they stepped up. Not only did they pay me for the use of my content, but they also, we are in negotiation. We're trying to work out the schedules to actually have them come on the show, getting the founder to come on the show to talk about the brand and their products. And then additionally, although I didn't ask for it, unprompted, they sent me their latest bottle. So this is actually a bigger bottle internally than the one that I used in my shaker bottle review. This one is it's the new 26-ounce size. It's only available in this color for right now. I literally got it yesterday, so I have not used it. It came with what is an optional carrying loop, so you can add that to your cart at checkout, I guess. And then this is a silicone boot so that it protects the bottom of this from scratches, of the bottle from scratches. I am curious to see if it does anything. There shouldn't be any sweating because this is an insulated, this is a vacuum insulated bottle. But let's say there is. I wonder if this will serve as sort of like a de facto coaster. Not sure about that. But in any case, they sent this to me. And as with all their, just in case you guys are interested, this is made out of 304 professional grade stainless steel. And then this part here that covers the drinking spout, this is food grade, FDA approved silicone, FDA approved food grade silicone. And then there's also some more silicone inside the neck right here of the drinking spout. So basically your mouth doesn't have to ever touch plastic with this product. They're not paying me to tell you guys any of this. It's just they sent this to me kind of as like on top of paying me for the content, just as another way to apologize. So shout out to them for doing the right thing, stepping up, and shout out to any of you guys who reached out to them to kind of like, I don't know, scold them or just let them know that I was trying to get in touch with them. Because I did say, if anybody has any connections with them, reach out to them and let them know what's going on. So let's set that to the side. I do not plan on doing a review of that product beyond what I just did. But I think it's cool. I plan on using it later on today. All right, now let's move on to the next item. If you guys are interested, CBS True Consumer Review says nice bottle. Yeah, man, I think it's a nice bottle. It actually has a So those of you who went to Home Gym Con, either the first year or the second year or both years, if you saw the Black Widow training gear, that pull-up bar, the texture that Dean has on his pull-up bars, where it's not knurled necessarily, but it's just, it's just kind of like, it's very grippy. That's sort of like what the bottle feels like. It feels nice and grippy in my hand, so it's not gonna like slip out of my hand. It's very different from like my ice shaker, which I like as well. But yeah, so I like it. All right, let's see. We're getting some responses here. So Jared says he's doing chest, abs, and triceps. T Dog says I have no idea what I'm training today. You'll come up with something. CBS True Consumer Reviews on Instagram said cardio today. It's Friday. It's Friday. All right. Shout out to Brainchild Designer. Hey, Renee L. Menides. Haven't talked to you in a minute. Hope all is well with you. Coder Elson, Edward Smith, live 2540 Inc. join. Shout out to you. Appreciate you joining. Yeah. What's up? My brother just joined the chat. Yeah, it's grippy. It feels and it fits in the cup holder, so it'll fit in the cup holder of your work truck if you wanted to get one. But yeah, also because it's steel, it's not gonna have odor. You know how it goes if you have like if you forget your protein in the shaker bottle, or even if you wash it, eventually plastic shaker bottles start to get an odor. This one should not develop that. My last one didn't, so it should be. I'd say it's enough. It's a much better product. All right, let's go on to the next item. All right, so you guys know, or if this is your first time, you don't know. But typically during the news and other things, I tell you guys about sales of which I'm aware. But Memorial Day to me and to others who served in the United States military, it's especially if we lost people, Memorial Day is not a day for sales. Okay, so it's very difficult for me. I was telling Jared when we were talking beforehand that up until they changed my schedule at work at my full-time job, I would, on Memorial Day, I would actually go to the National Cemetery and walk the graveyards, the grave sites of people we know from our unit who passed away. So just for context, I went to Iraq. I came back from Iraq in 2005. And we lost somebody the year after we got back. Cody was assigned to me. I was artillery section chief, and Cody was assigned to me. I know we did one. I remember one field drill with him, but I didn't have a lot of time with him. And then we were not due to rotate back to Iraq, but it was time. But another unit came because they were rotating, and they were short a few people, and so they selected Cody to take with them to Iraq, and he was killed over there. And for me, that's what Memorial Day is: remembering Cody and other people I know who came back from Iraq with us. Like I said, we got back from Iraq in 2005, and 3 years ago, maybe 4 years ago now, actually, we heard of I heard of another. That's when I heard that Willie died. Willie had killed himself. Memorial Day is not about. I know it sounds morbid, and I hate to kill everybody's vibe, but Memorial Day is not about sales, man. It's not about sales, and I also understand. Let me say this too. I understand why people tell me thank you for your service on Memorial Day, but Memorial Day is not for me. It's not for anybody who's currently serving in the military. That's Armed Forces Day, which was last weekend. Okay. The day when thanking me for my service is appropriate is every day other than Memorial Day. Any weekend other than Memorial Day weekend, and if you want to pick a specific day, then Veterans Day, okay, which is in the fall, day after the Marine Corps birthday. But this is the day to honor those who don't get to see their kids grow up. Those who don't get to realize all the hopes and dreams that they put to the side because they were serving the country. And I just can't get behind. I just can't get behind sending y'all to the mall or sending you to some online site. Like it just doesn't feel right. Okay. Like I said, I can't. On Memorial Day, I'm remembering Ken, Josh, Willie, Raymond, Adam, Cody. Cody hurts a lot because I feel responsible for him, because I'm like, well, what if I had actually, I know I wasn't due to rotate. I had just come back. And then after coming back, not long after I came back, I went to the sergeant's course at Quantico. So I was away from my family again. Then that fall, we came back in the spring. And then that fall, Hurricane Katrina hit. So I got deployed to Hurricane Katrina to support that. And this is all within my first year of marriage. Right? So then it was time to, they came looking for bodies, and I was higher rank. And so I could have gone. I could have made the choice like, hey, I'll go. And it's hard for me to not feel responsible because Cody went without me. I mean, he probably wouldn't even been with me. In my head, I know that, okay? But that's not something that my heart understands. All I know is Cody's mom and daddy my parents got me back. My wife and kids got me back. Cody's mom and daddy got a flag. And it's hard for me to shake that. So rather than tell you guys about sales, and I'm not trying to bring the mood down for everybody, what I'm going to do is instead, I challenge you to support one of the organizations that are taking care of families like Cody's, like Cody Warren's, the families of people like who paid the price. So you and I can have the freedom to pursue our goals in safety. So the first one is VetWad. I'm going to go ahead and share the screen as I bring these up. So VetWad is a great organization, and they provide an avenue for active duty veterans and first responders, which is cool because a lot of times first responders get left out, right? But they sacrifice too. They give up a portion of their lives too, and they lose their lives too. And a lot of them are former military. So imagine you make it all the way through the military, that you go serve as a police officer, and then you lose your life back home. So they provide VetWad provides an avenue for active duty veterans and first responders to cope with scars, invisible scars from their previous and continued service. So they said that their website says, we know that wounds can go beyond blood and can occur in many ways during service campaigns on foreign soil, all the way to daily service in our community. So the ways that they help are they offer scholarships. A lot of times when veterans isolate them, get out, they feel isolated, and that can lead to people spiraling. And so VetWad will offer scholarships or give you a gym membership to a reputable gym with an emphasis on community. For that reason, they prefer CrossFit gyms, because CrossFit boxes, because CrossFit is big about community. They also, let's say there's not a box near you, they will offer you free 3 months of online programming, which is provided by, they have a partnership with Street Parking. And they'll also give you equipment to get started. And let me stop right there. I know I'm not going to give out information about sales, and I'm not, but how do I say this? If you are a veteran and you're struggling and you like, hey, I just think that having a home gym or something like that might help me, hit me up, just DM at Garage Gym Life, and I'll let you know about any sale that I know about. Okay. But then also hang on, because later on today, we're going to be talking to someone who is doing a program, Garage Gym for Vets, that might help you. So just stay tuned. Okay. But in any case, like I said, so VetWad offers scholarships. They give equipment sponsorships for fire and police departments, military installations, and they also sponsor specific local competitions. Now, how can you support them? Because I said I'm telling you about it so you can support them. So ways you can support them are you can purchase merch. They have a shop tab. And so whenever there's stuff in the shop tab, you can, so you see they have merch there, you can order that. I've got, they have, I think they still have patches. They got the tumbler you see here, the Ranger panties. They got a patch. I have a VetWad patch. Shirts. They also announce their sales. If you follow them on Instagram at VetWad, you'll find out about like their next sale. Then you can also participate in their online competitions throughout the year to just build awareness. For example, last year they collaborated with the Garage Gym competition last year in July. So that is one organization that I can say you can support. Then EOD Warrior Foundation is another one. Now, you guys may know about that. That is popularized by the notorious KURT. That's right, Kurt Locker. He's already talked about the EOD Warrior Foundation on this show a few times. But basically, they offer financial support to offer financial assistance and services like morale events, basically get you together so that you don't feel alone. You don't let the walls start closing in on you. They give you peer-to-peer support. They do educational programs, connections to resources. They take care of the EOD memorial. But just as important, they maintain contact with families of the fallen EOD warriors, because there's a point in time where, like I mentioned, Cody's family, there's a point in time where the family, like you kind of like you go to the funeral, you mourn your fallen brother, sister, and then the family is left with this hole, and so EOD Warrior Foundation will reach out to the family and maintain contact with them. And Kurt's got some really cool stories about stuff that they've done. You guys go to the Kurt Locker YouTube channel and find one of his videos and just say, hey, put a comment in there and say, hey, tell me about the EOD Warrior Foundation, and he'll be happy to tell you. Or hit him up on Instagram and DM him, and he'll be happy to tell you about him. But this is another awesome organization that's helping people. Not only do I like them because they take care of the families of the fallen, but like VetWad, they're also trying to help service members, former service members, so that they don't become part of the fallen, right? I want every year, I want to be able to say, thank you for your service on Veterans Day. I don't want to remember you on Memorial Day. Okay, don't die before your time. And I love the fact that that VetWad and EOD Warrior Foundation are trying to help, they help with the families, and then they also try to help you not become a statistic. So how you can support, you can donate. Then also there's a donate button. You guys see it right up here in the corner. You can you can enter the Strongman Throwdown at Home Gym Con if you're going to be there. I know Carp is going to be in it. And the Strongman Throwdown, they're taking the proceeds. So it's a 2-day competition. Should be a lot of fun. So they said the cash raised is going to be donated to EOD Warrior Foundation. And that's cash from ticket sales to the convention, competition entries and competition sponsorships. And then so they're going to give out cash prizes, but then they're also going to donate cash to the EOD Warrior Foundation, which I think is phenomenal. I think it's phenomenal. And then the final organization, And these are just organizations that I know about that I know are legitimate. The final one is Mission 22. Now, you guys may have heard about the and there's Kurt Locker who just said he's here, and Kurt says, "Yeah, family support EOD Warrior Foundation is just amazing." Exactly. So yeah, definitely, I'm telling you, like I said, he's got personal stories he can tell you about families he know who have been helped by them. So you're not going to pay your money and then it just goes to some random thing that doesn't do anything, right? Now Mission 22 is another one, and this one is started by veterans, staffed by veterans and spouses and family members of veterans. And basically they offer a ton of stuff. So there's like, if you're a veteran, they try to eliminate the wait times that veterans experience when they're seeking treatment for like PTSD. They provide help and healing for people dealing with PTSD, traumatic brain injury. I've got a friend who's medically retired because of traumatic brain injury, military sexual trauma. And so they've got a ton of things, recovery and resiliency to, just basically to help veterans overcome their personal challenges. And then again, they've got programs for their families. Basically to help you, because if your veteran is going through something, you're going through it too. And people sometimes don't think about that. I have a cousin who served in the Marine Corps, and I had to reach out to get help for him because he was suffering, right? And so, his mother, father, sisters, they're all dealing with it at the same time because he's dealing with it. You know what I mean? So Mission 22 provides support services for veterans' families. So how you can support, you can donate. Click that, go to mission22.org. I'm sorry, mission22.com and donate. Or you can go to, they've also got a shop. They've got some cool stuff. I actually just bought a shirt from them. I bought one of I bought this one, the Mission 22 charcoal tee. They've got the Remember Everyone Deployed shirts, the red shirts. And also bought it was like basically a notebook. Okay. But they've got cups, all kinds of different things. And I said, you pay, you donate, and you get this merch, but the money is going to go to support a good cause. So now, I do not claim, I'm telling you, dude, this, Kurt says Mission 22 is another fantastic organization. Like I said, man, there are organizations that may be more popular, but not every organization you hear about that's supposed to be supporting vets is actually doing it. And those are just the three that I know specifically are actually, if you pay any money, you donate to them, your money is actually going to go serve the people it's supposed to serve. So that's what I know about. But that being said, I don't know about everyone. So if you guys, either whether you're watching on Instagram or you're watching on YouTube, if you know about somewhere that is doing good work, please don't just Google. Don't just Google. It's got to be an organization that you know is legit and is helping veterans. Please just put it in the chat, and I will bring them up and I'll talk about them. If you can, if you've got something short, like why you think we should talk, we should add them to the list, throw that in there too, and I will see it whether it's on Instagram or on YouTube. And you can do that no matter what time. All right, so T-Dog says vets to industry. Actually, you know what? I'll mention GoRx. They're not specifically like veterans help, but they do help veterans transition in terms of getting jobs and starting businesses. And a lot of times the issue that we face when we get out is you not only lose your sense of community, but you also lose your sense of purpose. And so what's helped me the most is having a sense of purpose, is that I immediately had something to do. So I'd say, GoRx. But as far as organizations that are specifically for what we're talking about, cool, I'm already getting some. So vets to industry, T-Dog 19 says vets to industry. All right, I like that. I'm assuming that they're like kind of like GoRx, that they help people transition into civilian jobs. Kurt Locker says the Green Beret Foundation. Yes, 100% Green Beret Foundation. Um, that's oh, the Red Cross. I can't believe I forgot. So the Red Cross is one that we don't think about, but if you are in a situation where something bad happens to your loved one overseas, the Red Cross contacts you. Okay. So your loved one is in the military and something bad happens to them, the Red Cross typically is who contacts you. So, go ahead and support them as well. And then of course everybody knows, about the blood drives and things like that. So, but the Green Beret Foundation, yes, I agree. So I'm looking them up. See if I can't get there. All right. So I'll go ahead and I'll share this here real quick. Green Beret Foundation. So they have a commitment to Green Berets past and present, and they provide them with emergency ongoing support. So you always think about like people who are involved in special warfare, but their operational tempo is vicious, especially during whether we actually have an active war or not, because they're constantly doing stuff. So you can if you have somebody who is a Green Beret, that person may lose their life in the service of the country, and we're not even at war. Okay, so they here on the website says they've continued to invest 84%. So 84%, 84 cents out of every dollar goes into programs and services, and they provided support to more than 26,000 Special Forces families since they were started. So that is definitely a legit one. I'm glad you mentioned that one. All right, so there we go. All right, see here. So, and Kurt says, I've done fundraisers for the Green Beret Foundation. I personally know families and operators who have benefited from the Green Beret Foundation. So I say it is a legitimate organization. And look, I get it. If you guys, I'm not going to travel to everybody's house and, kick their laptop out of their hand if they're trying to order something to take advantage of a Memorial Day sale. But because to a certain extent, we fought for the right for you to be able to shop and not be concerned. You know what I mean? Like when I was in Iraq, you see people walk around, they had this constant fear, right? We don't really have that in America, at least not because of foreign invasion. And that, that's because of the work, of people deploying and fighting. We keep the war overseas, right? So I try to look at the Memorial Day sale thing as hey, it's a symbol showing, hey, we succeeded, right? We achieved our goal. But still, come on, man. Just the one weekend, you got 51 other weekends to buy stuff for yourself. This one weekend, just take a second. If you're going to take the money you were going to spend and donate it to one of these foundations. I'm still getting other ones. My brother says he's out. All right, yo. All right, man. I'll talk to you later. Carlos Sanchez says the Navy SEAL Foundation is a wonderful organization we support. Thank you. There you go. All right. Let's see here. The Warrior Dog Foundation. All right, that's outstanding. Okay, yeah. So military working dogs saved us multiple times when I was in Iraq, and the dog handlers, they were hugely impactful when I was deployed to Iraq at the entry control points when I was manning an entry control point. They sniffed out stuff that we wouldn't. So a lot of times we wouldn't have even known it was there and was a problem. They also calmed down a lot of conflicts before they could get escalated. So those dogs give their lives too in the line of duty. So definitely Warrior Dog Foundation. Yes. All right. So you guys keep on adding them, and as they pop up, I'll talk about them. Let's see, we've got about 10 more minutes before we hit Recliner Rage. I see our special guest is backstage. Are you good for 10 more minutes, Matt? Okay, cool. All right, so Operation No More Brand Deals has begun. You're like, what is that? So here's the thing. I don't know how other people run their stuff, and they can run it how they want. But a lot of times you see people doing product reviews based upon the fact that someone has paid them to do the review, right? And that includes us. People, they pay me for my time because, I mean, I would be doing something else with that time, but now you want me to talk about your product, so you got to pay me for my time. You don't pay me for my opinion, but you pay me for my time. However, I would prefer not to be restricted to brand deals that someone sends me, right? And to be clear, I don't reach out to companies for brand deals. They always reach out to me, right? Every product review thing you guys see on my channel, it's either something I just bought myself and I own. I was like, I'll just do a review on it, or it's a company that's reached out to me. But I would like to not even do that, okay? Instead, I would like to have the channel funded 100% by the viewers. So the goal is to be 100% viewer supported. And then at that time, I would review only the products that you guys want to hear about rather than having to wait for somebody to send me something on a brand deal, right? It also would let me give more awareness to small startups that don't have the budget to send out product, to pay influencers to promote their products or whatever, right? It doesn't mean that I wouldn't, talk about stuff you like. It just means I've got more freedom because I'm not constricted. I'm not constrained. It would be basically, some of you guys may not even know who this is, but it would basically be the same structure as Consumer Reports. So there'd be no advertising. Nobody be sending me free stuff. Instead, we'd be supported by membership donations from you guys. So basically super chats on YouTube. And then we'll do limited merch sales. So for example, the Garage Gorilla Bar, that's an example of merch. If you buy that, a portion of the proceeds come to me, and then everything I get from sales of the Garage Gorilla Bar goes back into the channel. We need 8,000 members on YouTube to be able to do this. I know that sounds crazy, like 8,000. Well, look, Carp always reminds me that when I said, Carp reminds me that he remembers when I was saying that I wanted to get to 20,000 subscribers on YouTube, and now we're over 50,000 right now. So it can be done, and I think that if you were Rob Vintage, hey, what's up, man? I forgot. I apologize. I should have said good morning when you first popped in here. Good morning, Rob. I know you got limited time. You're heading off to teach America's youth. He said, viewer funded is the dream. He said, for my channel right now, reviews are either products sent to me or equipment I purchased. Yeah, it's like viewer funded is what you want. So an example of someone who's viewer funded is Adrian and Winning Gluck. All right. So that's what I'm trying to achieve. I'm not trying to count Gluck's pockets. Okay. So I'm not going to get any more into that. He's got a video somewhere on YouTube that talks about how they fund the channel. All I'm saying is I want to be viewer funded, so I am not restricted to only talking about products that I can afford or products that a company sends to me to talk about. I want to be able to talk about the stuff that you guys want to talk about. So the link to jump on, if you think this is a good cause, is in the video description. It is also going to be in my Instagram bio, and yeah, it's literally 99 cents a month. So I need 8,000 people who think they can afford $12 a year. Okay, so that's pretty much. And I'm so uncomfortable talking about this because I always feel like I'm like, it feels weird. But that's what I want to do. So I'm gonna keep talking about it, and I shout out to all of you guys who are already channel members because you're getting me closer to that goal. So everybody, if you want to do it, you just go to YouTube, find Garage Life Media. There's a join button. There'll be a subscribe button. Hit subscribe, and then there's a join button once you've subscribed, and you can join. Like I said, 99 cents a month. All right, let's move on. Speaking of smaller brands, there is a new channel I just discovered this morning, a new YouTube channel I just discovered this morning when I was doing show prep. It is called the Underrated Garage Gym. So I'm going to go ahead and pull that up real quick because I thought it was really cool when I saw it. Underrated Garage Gym. And so this is them. He's got 46 subscribers. He had 45 till I found him. Now he's got 46 because I subscribed, as you guys can see right there. I subscribed. And this was the video that made me subscribe. So this is him doing some heavy static holds with his son. You guys can see he's got another son somewhere who pops on screen. See if he's gonna pop up. Maybe it's in the beginning. Yeah. Okay, see that right there, bottom left corner is another son. All right. But this just looks like when I was training with my sons when they were kids, and this just gives me that vibe, man. And then, shout out to little dude, or I guess he's not little, I don't know how tall he is, but he actually got a PR. So there he is with 275. There you go. But then he felt froggy, and who hasn't been there? Doesn't quite get it. Has to do the notorious roll down. So, hey, I ain't mad at you, man. We've all done it. All right. But shout out to them. It's Underrated Garage Gym. I already did a community post shouting them out on YouTube, and I'll put the link in the description so you guys can check them out. Go give them a sub because I like supporting people who are doing cool stuff. All right, now moving on. It is now time for the most popular segment. Okay, that is Recliner of Rage. Okay, and let's go ahead and jump right into it right now.
It's the Recliner of Rage.
It's the Recliner of Rage, 'cause he's not happy.
All right, so today on Recliner of Rage, as I mentioned at the top of the show, we have a guest crash out. So my guy Matt Welch, all the way in the UK, is heated. Okay, he's experiencing deadlift-related rage, which is tragic because the deadlift is supposed to be how you get out your frustrations. But he's mad at it is related to his deadlift. As always, we are going to give him a safe space to express his emotions as loudly as possible. So Matt, welcome to the show.
How are we doing? How are we?
I'm good, but obviously you're not. So Matt, tell us, you're an angry strong man. Matt, the floor is yours. How have you been betrayed?
Well, I'm fuming. I've been trying to figure out what I'm fuming at. Is it me or is it the Fernandos that keep DMing me, telling me my technique is wrong, I'm lifting wrong, and I am incorrect? Okay. And it's hard for me to decide because I listened to the DMs, I listened to the messages. I do a lot of my lifting currently live on TikTok. So all my deadlifts, squats, everything else, it's all done live. And I've been getting lots of messages from various athletes and powerlifters and strongmen telling me I'm lifting wrong on my deadlift. And I'm like, okay, send me your tips. Let me know. See what I'm doing wrong. And I'll try them on Monday. So I did just that. I listened, read the comments, adjusted my technique. I got to what would be, let me do the conversion, 578 pounds for my first heavy lift. And it was horrendous. I hated it. It moved terribly. Normally, my own technique, I can hit it for reps. And it felt like someone was trying to tear my spine out of my back. So I was not happy. It is the last time I listen to the Fernandos. I'm going to stick with my technique, but it's my own fault because I shouldn't have listened.
Okay. So let's give you some. So basically, let me just kind of encapsulate this. You're mad. You're trying to figure out if you're mad at yourself or if you're mad at the people who told you your deadlift technique was bad.
Yeah, because they're wrong.
All right. Okay. So, and just for let's say for instructional or like for clarification purposes, we're gonna look at your deadlift technique. All right. So this is you. You're working up from 141 kilos to 261 kilos, sets of 5. All right, and you have a world record, a natural strongman record in the deadlift. By the way, we actually watched you achieve that, and so they're saying that what you're doing here is wrong. Am I correct? In that's where I'm correct so far, right?
Yep.
Okay. All right, and so you're mad at yourself because you know what? I think I figured it out. Yeah, you ought to be mad at yourself. Because Fernando, for those of you who don't know, Fernando is basically the name we give to anybody who gets in the way of our progress. Okay. And Fernandos are basically in this situation, they're trolls. And trolls are gonna troll, and you can't listen to the trolls. Especially not what if somebody on TikTok though? All right. What's there? A lot of times people put out stuff because they're trying to they may not even lift themselves, right? And they'll say something, oh yeah, well, I know a guy who benched more than that in high school or whatever. Like they'll give you they'll give you the advice, and you say, well, how much do you bench or how much you deadlift? I said, well, I don't, but I know a lot of strong guys, and that's not how they do it, or something like that. I'm like, what? Congratulations on the exploits of your friends and not you, right? So you can't listen to the trolls. They have no vested interest in seeing you succeed. And in fact, remember, these are the same people who like to watch Instagram fail videos and TikTok fail videos. Yeah. They are setting you up for failure, Matt.
Genuinely, I would listen, but I had also had DMs from powerlifters and strongman alike also saying similar things. So I was like, okay, maybe I am in the wrong.
Okay. So you had DMs from people who you know and respect.
Yeah. So I thought, you know what? I'll take some of the advice. We'll take it as creative criticism, and I will make these adjustments to see what it is. And it turns out that I should have listened, because at the end of the day, I'm going to be competing against some of these people. And I'm convinced that they're going to sabotage me for my next competition.
So in the words of Arnold, they gave you the wrong advices.
Yep. Okay. Yep, they're out here thinking they can stop me, and they're wrong. All this means now is I'm more determined to beat them on the deadlifting competition.
All right, so for the sake of everybody who doesn't necessarily know, what is your current deadlift? What's your deadlift record?
So currently, I am the under 90s natural deadlift world record holder. I pulled 660 kilo in strongman officially as.
Did you just say you pulled 660 kilo?
660 pounds.
Okay, I'm about to say, hey, what, Captain America? What? I don't care if you're British. You're still Captain America if you do that. All right. Okay, let's go back down.
I'm not quite at 660 kilo yet. Give me some more time.
All right, 60. So you pull 660 pounds, and you're the world record holder. And people who are competing against you told you you're doing it wrong, and then trolls who want to see you fail so they can laugh told you you're doing it wrong. All right.
Yeah.
So what's the verdict for those? Because I'm not, you know what? I technically am not angry at all, because you guys laugh at my pain every time I have Recliner Rage. But in the spirit of Recliner Rage, I'm mad because you're mad. And now that we've identified who to be mad at is you. So I'm mad at you, Matt. All right? There's no reason for you what are you doing? In the words of your mom, who I've heard on videos, come on, Matthew. What are you doing to yourself? What are you doing, man? And then you don't respond to them. Don't feed the trolls, Matt. I expected better. I'm so sad at you. In fact, I'm not even mad at you. I'm sad at you. I'm very disappointed in you for listening to the trolls.
You see, that hurts even more.
You need to do better. You need to do better.
I do. I've got to try harder.
Thank you. That's all I need you to do. All right. All right, man. Hey, I know you got to go back and wrestle deer. You snuck away to an undisclosed location from work. And I appreciate you jumping on here all the way from the UK. You can change that to, hopefully next time you're on here, you're not an angry strong man. You're just a strong man. Okay? Hi, my man.
Got another world record attempt in August, so I'm going to keep my technique the way it is.
You're dang right. Why? Have you ever heard this phrase, if it ain't broke, don't fix it? Okay. That's how y'all lost America. Because originally you were treating us one way, Then you started treating us a different way, and we had to kick you out the country. See that? You don't learn, Matt. You don't learn.
Gluttons for punishment, mate. That's what they are, the British.
Oh my God. I
If
know.
we can do something the hard way, we will.
I believe you. I believe you. Man, go back to work before you get in trouble.
Yep.
And I'm done being subversive and trying to get you in trouble at work. All right, appreciate you, man. Later on.
Thanks, everyone. I'm going to go and beat myself up for being wrong.
Oh, well, okay. All right, you go ahead and do that. We'll carry on with the show. Later. All right, that's my guy, Matt. And that should I hope all y'all learn a valuable lesson from this. Don't listen to people on the internet who are telling you to change your lifting technique. One, they don't care about you. Two, they're hoping you fail so they can laugh at you. All right? Do better. Don't do that. Don't do that to yourself. Don't do that to yourself. All right. It is, and now I will say, although y'all saw me just laugh at Matt, I really do say this is a safe space. So if you are watching this and you have been betrayed by your home gym, I want you to hit me up on Instagram at Garage Gym Life. Let me know what you're mad about that is home gym related. And I will schedule you to come on the show so you can engage. Matt was very calm. I'm proud of him. But if you want to come on the show and engage in some scream therapy to get your weekend started correctly, I am here for you. Okay? Ride with us. I know you're mad about something. Okay? Winborn MD. I know you're mad about PD Satchel. You got to be mad at something that's in your home gym. If you got something you're mad about in your home gym, this is a safe space to express your feelings as loudly as you want. Okay? Hit up at Garage Gym Life. I'll bring you on and we'll work through it. Okay? Now, in the meantime, those of you who are watching on YouTube, I want you to do something for me, and that is this.
Hey, I don't want you to just watch this video. I need you to like, subscribe, and if you're already a subscriber, I want you to join our channel for 99 cents a month so you can help us improve YouTube for the home gym community. Okay, back to the video.
All right, that's what I want you to do. And even if you're not watching on YouTube, I want you to go to YouTube and like, subscribe, and then if you're already a subscriber, I want you to become a channel member so that we can change not just YouTube, but change content for the sake of the home gym community. All right. Now, let's go ahead. Shout out to everyone who has joined us from LinkedIn. And shout out to the 1,058 of you who are watching on YouTube. Let me see. Got a bunch of you starting watching on Instagram. It's not, I can't tell how many of y'all, I know there's a bunch of you, but I can't tell how many of you guys are watching on Instagram. So just welcome to the show. Thanks for checking it out. Make sure you hit that like button, as my guy Tattooed Saying said. Oh yeah, you guys follow Matt on Instagram if you want to watch, see clips of his training, and follow him on TikTok at Tattooed Saying on TikTok if you want to watch his live workouts. Right. He's got another world record attempt. I guess he's going to be trying to break his own world record in August because he's already holds the world record. So we'll get to see. You can watch his training leading up to that. So go ahead, check him out on Instagram and on TikTok. Rob said, "Was Matt?" He says, "I'm mad. I'm ready for Recliner Rage. Let's go." Rob, what are you mad about, man? This is a safe space. Shoot me a text. Let me know. Let me know what you're mad about, and we'll get you on the show, man. We'll get you on the show because I want everybody to have a place where they can safely and loudly express their emotional disappointment at whatever in their home gym has betrayed them. All right. Shout out to the Central Time Zone. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life. I'm John Greaves III. I'm the co-founder of Garage Gym Life. If this is your first time watching the show, thank you for giving us a shot. Again, thanks for giving us a chance. I know that you guys are going to enjoy this show. We talk about home gyms and we talk about fitness from a home gym perspective, and we get your live reactions along the way. We've got a really good show here today. We're about to jump into React or Respond. But first, I want to give a quick shout out to everybody who has ordered a Garage Gorilla Bar. I actually just shared to my story, Coach Carp shared a video of himself working out. I think you're working out with your wife, Carp? They're getting in some bench pressing with the Garage Gorilla bar, which is my favorite bar. It's a 45-pound narrow axle, and total length of the bar is 80 inches. It's my favorite accessory bar, hands down. Does require axle collars, but you guys can grab it by checking the link in my Instagram bio or the link in the description for this video, and you can grab the Garage Gorilla bar for your home gym. It's gonna just warn you, when you use it, the first time you use it for a press workout, it's gonna light up your triceps in a good way. So, and I appreciate you guys for all of your support. All right, time to react and respond. Let me give you some background. So, I often talk about warranties and how important they are, and they are. You know, there are so many brands out there that just started that, you know, may have been in business for a year, 2 years, even 5 years, and they don't, you know, they might say, well, we got a 30-day warranty, in some cases a 1-year limited warranty, but the reality is that a warranty is important, and a company like Body Solid, which has been around for 36 years, that offers a lifetime warranty on their products, is a big deal. But I started thinking about it. It's like, warranties are all well and good, but which home gym equipment brand has the best return policy? You understand? It's like, let's use Body Solid, for example. Let's say you buy something, gets to your house, and you just don't like it. Okay, you're like, you know what? I should have tried it before I bought it, but now it's here. It doesn't fit. Maybe, or it's too short, right? So let's say you got the GPR 400 and you should have gotten the SPR 1000, I think it is, because it's taller. You get there, GPR 400 is too short. You're like, man, I should have gotten a taller power rack. Well, what do? Or worse, you order something from, let's say you order from Fringe Sport. Let's say you buy a Dane, and the Dane comes in and one of the cross members is damaged. Okay. What do? Okay. Obviously, you're going to contact them, but what's their return? What is their return policy? So that's what we're going to be talking about right now. And I think this is a topic that I know other people haven't talked about, because I reached out to other content creators and said, hey, in your opinion, who's got the best return policy out of equipment brands? And most of them are like, you know, I never really thought about that. That's why I'm here. All right. So starting with Body Solid, because that's where I started, I had to call Scott McDonald. And I said, hey, man, if somebody wants to return something to you for whatever reason, what's the procedure? And who pays for it? So Scott said, if you're returning something because of buyer's remorse, you have to pay the cost to ship it back to them. So remember, I just said, you buy a power rack and you decide you just don't like it, you can send it back to them. Hopefully you kept the original box, but you're going to pay the cost to send it back to them. Okay. If they need to replace a damaged part, they'll either have somebody come out to repair it or replace it for you. They'll send a tech out, or if it's like a cable or something, they'll probably just send you the cable so you can replace it. And then in that situation, if somebody comes out to replace something for you, that person may take the damaged part with them, or you might just be stuck with it. Why does that matter? Let's say it's an upright. Okay, let's say your upright shows up and it's dented because of shipping, right? What are you gonna do with this thing? An upright might be 80 inches tall. That's over 6 feet. Okay, for those of you who are paying attention, that's over 6 feet long. I don't know where you live, but the people who pick up our trash are not gonna let me put a 6-foot upright by the curb for them to throw in the back of their trash truck. Down here, I live in Georgia. Down here, you have to pay to take it to the dump. if you don't have access to like a container, a dumpster. Okay. So now I'll say, so Carp said Amazon, and I will say Amazon, I can tell you, has the friendliest. I wouldn't consider them a gym supplier, but you can buy gym equipment from them. They probably have the friendliest return policy because you just tell them, hey, I don't like this, so for whatever reason, and they'll send you a shipping label, and then you download it, and then you got to figure out, where you're gonna take it to be dropped off, to be picked up, or whatever. But at least they'll pay for the shipping, right? Let's see. Eric says, I'm hoping to keep the upright to make some custom DIY stuff. And Trevor said, T-Dog says, Belza still took care of me when I got a damaged cable tower. Okay, but I need you to be specific. What do you mean they took care of you? They sent you a new one? But what'd you do with the old one? Were you able to send the old one back to them? And did they pay for it if you had to send the old one back to them? That's what we're talking about. I'm not disputing that you can get a replacement part, okay, depending on the warranty. What I'm saying to you is, when it's time to send, if you have to send something back to them, because some of these companies will say, in order for us to replace the part, you've got to send it back to us so we can inspect it. And most of the time, from what I did the research on, and this is recent because, well, okay, some of these I actually looked up earlier in the week, but I did a quick double check this morning when I was doing show prep. So most of them haven't changed from when I saw it earlier this week. So my point is, they'll say, all right, you got to ship it back to us. Sometimes they say it's got to be in the original box. You're going to pay the shipping. They might charge you a restocking fee if you're just replacing it because you just don't like it. And sometimes even if it's like a defective part, you still got to pay up front. And then sometimes I'm not saying all, some companies will reimburse you for the shipping cost, but you got to pay it up front. All right. And let's see here. Let's go. So T-Dog said, Belza still offered to replace the damaged parts or offer credit towards new stuff. Process was a phone call and send him some pictures. Okay, that's fantastic. What did you do with the damaged parts? That's the point I'm making. What did you do with it? Did you have to figure out where to throw it away? Because it's a cable tower. I don't know if you had the plate loaded or the stack, but that's still a giant piece of metal and plastic and aluminum and whatever that's just in your gym. How do you get rid of this thing? All right. In some places, if you just stick it on the curb, all right, so some places you just stick it on the curb and somebody will come, they'll come steal it. You just leave it out there unattended, somebody will come steal it, now is their problem. But what if you live in a place with a homeowners association where you can't just stick it at the curb? And you can't put it on Facebook Marketplace and say, hey, I got this damaged piece of garbage or whatever. Come get it. The Craigslist used to have a free section. You just say, hey, I got this thing. There's something wrong with it. Come get it if you want it. I'll leave it at the curb. Right? But it's like, well, what do you do with it? The best option is if you can send the thing you don't want back to the company so they can replace it with the thing you do need. Right? But not every company is gonna pay for that, right? Especially, Rob said, as Rob points out, larger companies, yeah. What smaller companies are gonna we're working with you in a return because it's much tougher for a one-person company. So think about some of these custom pieces you get made, right? Comes out to you and you're like, oh, this is messed up. Kind of hard to return it, right? That's why you see sometimes stuff on Facebook Marketplace is not necessarily because the person is like, buyer's remorse, but there might be some minor. That's why you go on Facebook Marketplace. You need to check before you buy the thing. Say, hey, well, what's wrong with it? I need to inspect it. Don't just buy it and have it shipped to you. But let's go ahead. I want to dive into the continue with the Body Solid thing because remember, Body Solid sells through their individual local dealers, right? So I said, all right, let's check out some of their dealers because a Body Solid dealer might have a different return policy than Body Solid. So let's go to Freedom Fitness Equipment because I happen to know that they are a Body Solid dealer. I have purchased stuff. Heck, I just purchased something from them last Friday. Yeah, last Friday I purchased something from them. All right, so now I'm on there's refund policy. All right, so let me share my screen so you guys can see it. That way everybody knows I'm telling you the truth. I don't lie. All right, Freedom Fitness Equipment. They're a Body Solid dealer, but they says due to the nature of our business, we do not normally accept returns on used gym equipment because most used equipment is sold as is. You're like, oh, well, yeah, but I bought it new. However, understand that, let's see here. So they don't accept returns on used gym equipment. That includes new equipment that's functional and not defective that you took out of the box already. Because once you take it out of the box, it's unboxed and they won't be able to resell it as new. Does that make sense? So if you bought it used from them, you can't return it. If you buy it brand new and there's nothing wrong with it, you just decide you don't want it, and you decided you didn't want it after you took it out of the box, you can't return it because now it's used and they won't be able to sell it as a new item. Okay. However, I'm not throwing my guy Ashton under the I'm not throwing my guy Ashton on the bus. He said we do stand behind our products. So if it's found to be defective at first use, then you contact them to bring the item back so they can work out a refund, exchange, maybe give you store credit for it, right? So we'll work with you to resolve these issues. But if you threaten or actually initiate a chargeback instead of trying to call them or contact them first, and actually says if you even infer that you're going to submit a chargeback, they reserve the right to immediately cancel the order, charge a restocking fee, and then they'll issue you a refund for the remaining balance at their sole discretion. If you need to return new equipment that is not functional, that is effective, you need to contact them first. So again, Body Solid has a lifetime warranty. If you buy a Body Solid product through Freedom Fitness Equipment, you should probably contact Body Solid first, okay? Because they may be able to get a tech out to repair or replace the thing. But you could also contact Freedom Fitness Equipment and say, hey, that Body Solid thing you sent me, it's got this wrong with it. And then Ashton will work with you, okay, to get it back. Ashton, for those who don't know, is about 8-hour drive away from where I live. So if he shipped me something, I would have to ship it back to him unless I just wanted to drive 8 hours to do this. So that would be one of the things that we would need to discuss. Who's going to pay for this thing to be shipped back to you? Because, you got to give him a chance to inspect it, right? He may just say, well, just send me pictures of it. But you got to give him a chance to work that out. Additionally, let's go. So another Body Solid dealer is Fitness Factory Outlet. In fact, the one in Chicago is the one who they will normally refer you to if you are if you say, well, I want to come, if I want to buy something online. They will be the ones that will fulfill that for you. All right. Now, let's say you need to return something. All right. So let's go to Fitness Factory Outlet. If you are not 100% satisfied, you need to contact them within 31 days of receiving the product to get authorization for return or exchange. Before you send it back, you got to email them. Let them know your name, your order number, and whatever you're trying to return, and then wait for them to approve it. If it's approved, it will be issued an RMA, which is a return authorization number, and a return address. But the returns have to be sent prepaid, right? This is the important part. return shipping costs. So the cost to ship it back to them when you identify the problem, the cost to ship it back is the customer's responsibility, and they have to be in the original box in like new condition. You have to keep the tracking number of your return, because if you send it back to them and they never get it, and you can't give them the tracking number, they will not give you a refund and they will not exchange it. And if there's nothing wrong with the product, well, actually, they don't even say that. They said there's a 15% restocking fee. I like that. There's a 15% restocking fee for all returns. Okay? So once again, I'm just telling you, I'm saying it's we talk about everybody's excited when we buy something. But before you buy, you need to consider whether there's a warranty, and you need to consider what it will cost you to return this thing if something is wrong with it. Those are factors. That is another reason why I say don't just buy stuff unless you've tried it in person. Don't just, especially if it's something big, don't just watch reviews and say, I watched a bunch of reviews, I'm good. No, don't do that. Don't do that. Doing your homework is more than just watching YouTube reviews. Okay? It's more than just asking people on Facebook, asking people on Discord what they think of the product. You need to do your research, consider all the factors. All right, let's jump into the comments real quick. All right, so Trevor said about his belts are still returned. He said they offered to replace the damaged parts or give him credit towards new stuff. So the process was the phone call and send him some pictures, right? And he said he decided to just keep the product and he just accepted the scratches. Chip Birdie, what's up, man? He said, had to ship a malfunctioning Echo bike back to Rogue. It was a huge pain, but it was better than trying to offload it. Good. All right. Let's see here. That's actually, so yeah, it's going to be a pain. All right. T-Dog said, this brings up an interesting point. That's exactly why I brought it up. Nobody else is talking about this. Okay. Nobody else is talking about this. Okay. So T-Dog said, this brings up an interesting point. If I buy something from a dealer, should you contact the dealer should the dealer be responsible for warranty service, or should I go back to the manufacturer? In my opinion, that's something else you need to find out about when you're buying the thing. Hey, if something goes wrong with this, do I need to reach out to you, or do I need to reach out to, in this case, Body Solid? And they'll tell you. That's something you need to ask them, because it's going to be their policy. Sometimes the dealer might say, okay, just for example, I just told you Fitness Factory outlet says 31 days. Body Solid will replace something that's defective for life. If the defect shows up, so it's a thing that, I don't know, let's say a pulley gives out 6 months after you bought it, or a year, 2 years after you bought it. Normal use, not something you didn't do anything weird with it. You didn't hit it with a hammer, but just under normal wear and tear, a pulley gives out. You reach out to Body Solid. Hey, the pulley on my GPR 400 FT just gave out. All right, Body Solid has a lifetime warranty. They'll take care of you. Okay, but if you bought it through Fitness Factory outlet, through Fitness Factory, and you reach out to them a year, 2 years afterwards, they'll tell you kick rocks, because they said 31 days or less. Okay, and you got to still have the original box. Now, I'm going to assume that after a year into using something, you don't have the original box, right? So that's, to me, that's you just gotta. I would say again, in a nutshell, when you're buying it, these are the questions to ask. Carb said, this sounds like Oregon Trail or home gym equipment. Will you survive? Eric said, when I bought the RitFit hack squat leg press last year, I had some gnarly scratches on some pieces. I got 10% of the cash back. Yeah, see? And again, you got to keep it. And they're like, but I mean, you just said that you like to DIY stuff, so you'll probably turn it into something else. But I'm just saying, for the average person who just has it, what are they going to do with it? right? Let's move on. Let's go to, this is a historic occasion, okay? I do not like, as a general rule, Titan Fitness. I'm not a fan of Titan Fitness, primarily because I've had a home gym for over 20 years. And I remember when Titan Fitness started, and I remember all of the product defects they had, the recalls and everything else. They were notorious for sending you some of the stuff you needed with your order. You'd get stuff with bolts missing and all kinds of other stuff, right? But having said that, I know a lot of you guys like Titan Fitness. So one night only, one day only, we're going to talk about Titan Fitness. We're going to go check out what their return policy is. I hope to God they got a good return policy. Let's go find out. Okay, so we are on Titan Fitness, and we're going to share the screen. Let's see here. All right, Titan Fitness return policy. You may return a purchased item within 30 days of your purchase date. To be eligible for a return, your item must be unused, in the same condition that you received it in, and it's got to be in the original packaging. So don't throw away all that styrofoam. Don't throw away the packing peanuts. Don't throw away the plastic that you cut off or ripped apart like a kid at Christmas. Hang on to it until you make sure everything's there and everything's working. Now, what's the process? You got it. It's in the same condition that you got it in, and then you got the original packaging. All right, step 2. You must obtain a return authorization from Titan Fitness prior to shipping any equipment back. And they have a return request form that you have to fill out and submit. Now, this is where it gets even more interesting. You are responsible for paying your own shipping costs for returning your item, plus a 20% restocking fee. Now, everybody brace yourself. Everybody brace yourself for this next part. If you receive a refund, okay, I'm going to highlight this part. If you receive a refund, which means they get it, they agree with you, oh yeah, this needed a refund. If you receive a refund, the 20% restocking fee is deducted from your refund. Let's say you're like, all right, I'm going to ship it back to you guys, and I want to hurry up and ship it back to you because I got to wait for you to inspect it so that you can then send me back my replacement, right? So you get expedited shipping. Well, they're like, expedited shipping is not refundable. So you got to pay regular shipping. They're going to deduct 20% from any refund they give you as part of a restocking fee. And once again, you got to provide them the tracking information. If you are shipping an item that's over $75, you should consider purchasing shipping insurance because we do not guarantee that we will receive your return item. If more than 30 days have gone by, we cannot offer you a refund or exchange. If your item is not in new condition and is not in the original packaging, if your item is not in new condition and is not in the original packaging, they will not offer you a refund or exchange. If your order arrives via freight, you have to verify that all items are present before you accept the delivery. If the equipment arrives damaged or has missing items, notify the freight company on the spot before signing for the delivery. Request that the freight company take notes and pictures because they say that all equipment leaves their warehouse in new unused condition unless otherwise noted, like if you bought scratch and dent. So they say when we send it to you, it is new and unused. So if there's damage, it's because the shipping company damaged it. So before you let the driver leave, you have to inspect it and have them take pictures. If there are no damages or shortages noted at the accepted delivery, we cannot offer refunds or replacements. All right, it keeps going. Once they receive the return, so you're sending it back to them, and you know already you're paying for the shipping cost. Then when they get it, they're going to evaluate it to ensure there's new condition, as I said. If they approve it, then your refund is going to be processed and a credit will automatically be applied to your credit card or your original method payment 5 to 7 business days after they get it and after they have evaluated it. So let's say they get it Friday. You ship it back to them. They get it Friday at 3 p.m. and they ain't evaluating nothing until the next week. I'm just going to tell you that now. So add at least the weekend to that 5 to 7 business days. Okay. And so you'll get your money minus the 20% restocking fee. Okay. Let's go back to the comment section. All right. So let's see. We stopped sharing. Carp said, yeah, they'll just resell whatever you send to somebody, send them at scratch and dent. Then they're out of luck. Yeah, 100%. So they keep your 20% restocking fee and then they sell it back to somebody else to scratch and dent. So they don't lose any money. Meanwhile, you're out your shipping cost and you're out the 20% restocking fee. But that's fine. Y'all love them. Y'all go right ahead. Carp said, my first Rogue rack, the uprights were not fully welded on the bottom. You could see through it. So they had to ship me 2 more. And I had to ship those damaged. The uprights are acknowledged as defective. And Carp had to ship those uprights back at his charge. He had to ship it back. Oh, okay, no. So Carp is saying that Rogue paid for, looks like, no, that's true. So it looks like he's saying Rogue paid for those to be shipped back. Okay, that's good. And Carp said he was able to schedule a UPS pickup. They came back to the house and picked it up. That's good. Eric says, I have a feeling the Smith machine attachment is going to be messed up as well. Man, look, it's Titan Fitness. I'm sorry, man. I got zero faith in Titan Fitness. I have zero. Less than zero. All right, let's go try somebody else. If you're watching on Instagram and you have a horror story about having to return something, please jump in the comment section and join the conversation. I want to hear from you guys too. I keep looking to the right because that's how I'll see your comments on Instagram. Go ahead and jump in the comment section. I will see your comment. So let's go to, I mentioned them earlier. So we're going to go to Fringe Sport, see what my guy PK has to say about returns. Return policy. All right. I know I sound like I'm beating a dead horse, but I just want you guys to see. Nobody. Okay, tell you what. Put an emoji in the chat of wherever you're watching if you've ever heard anybody talk about the return policy for a company. Everybody tells you about how great the product was and how, like their first impressions review, it's outstanding. I love it. Okay. How many people have ever said to you, well, the return policy is this. So if you end up not liking it after believing me, here's what you have to go through to return it. How many of you, go ahead, put a raised hand emoji in the comment section of wherever you're watching if you've ever heard anybody talk about that. Okay? It doesn't happen. Nobody brings it up. Most people don't even think about it. Okay? All right. But here we are. We're going to do it. All right. French Sport. I said that I thought that Rogue Fitness had the best, but I think French Sport might be top dog. They have a 365-day no drama returns policy. So they have a returns portal. Step 1, click on the return portal link. All right, I clicked it. When you do that, you go here and you have an order number that you need to put in, and you put in your zip code. Okay? There's even a way for you to return a gift that somebody gave you, in which case you would not have the order number potentially, right? All right. Well, let's go back. All right. So step 1, you click on the return portal link. You put in your order number, okay, which you can find on your receipt or in the confirmation email that French Sport will send you. Then they're going to walk you through a self-service returns web process. You put your return for your reason for your return, pictures of the product and or the box. Not or and the box. You might not even have the box anymore. Peter's like, that's fine. If you do, cool. Put a brief description of why you want to return it. From there, they're going to submit it to the customer service department for approval. If you are unsatisfied with anything within the first 30 days of your purchase from French Sport, you can return it for any reason for a full refund. Even if you've used it, as long as it's been light, like don't hit it with a hammer, but if it's lightly used, right? And you're like, you know what? Oh, I just don't like it. Here's a good one. Let's say you order, I'll use the Dane. Let's say you order the Dane 1.0 and you're not happy with how the pulleys operate. Maybe there's a little bit too much drag or you just don't like it, right? And you've had it for 15 days. You're like, yeah, I just don't like it. You can reach out to French Sport within the first 30 days and say, hey, this ain't working for me. I'm going to fill out I'm clicking on the return portal because it's just not working for me. There's too much drag. I just don't like how this is working. Okay. They said they'll give you a full refund once they get the item back. So you got to take your Dane 1.0 in the case of this situation, find a box, take it apart, and send it back. You are responsible for the return shipping charges now. No hassle, but you still going to pay for the return shipping charges. Now, let's say it's past 30 days, but you still got the product in the original box. For example, let's say you got something and then after you got it, it's just kind of sitting around and then you never got around to using it, and then somebody gives you as a gift a similar item from another company, and you're like, oh, I'll just use this one instead. I still got the old one in the box from French Sport. All right. They will accept a return within the first 365 days for a full refund, but the item has to be unused and returned in the original packaging. Once they get it back, they'll give you the full refund. Once again, though, you are responsible for the return shipping charge. So let's say you get the Lone Star bar or something, right? I'm trying to think of something that wouldn't be as big a hassle to return. So let's say you get a Wonder Bar or the Midas Revenge Bar. You're like, I don't like. Okay, let's say you get the Wonder Bar and you're like, you know what? I should have gotten the Midas Revenge Bar. Okay, you buy the Wonder Bar online. You go to Home Gym Con. You see the Midas Revenge Bar. You're like, hey man, I like this bar better. I'm gonna buy this. I got the Wonder Bar back at the house, and it's still in the box. I didn't even get a chance to take it out of the box because it arrived, and then I left for Home Gym Con. You can send it back. You can send it back. All right. So that to me is outstanding. All right. Now, if you get your order is damaged or broken, immediately reach out to them with photos of the packaging and the items. If you're having a tracking issue, having issues with the carrier, contact them. Customer service team will take care of you. I've experienced that, and they have taken care of me. Most of the products carry a 1-year parts and defect, and some even have a lifetime warranty. So you want to look at the product page to see what sort of lifetime warranty there is, because they may not take it back. Like you may not be able to send it back to them, but they may send you a replacement part. Then you still got to figure out what to do with it. Okay. Pursuant to the parameters that we talked about earlier. Okay. All right. So that's French Sport. So far, I would say that French Sport has the friendliest, hold on. Home Gym Physique says he can't really hear me properly. Let's make sure that my mic, let me stop right there and make sure my mic is working well. I just turned the volume up. All right, Home Gym Physique. I don't know how old you are. You might be my age with, or something, but I turned up the mic for you. I hope that's better. Carp said you really only hear that kind of thing from Body Solid and from French. Yeah. And I mean, even French Sport has the limited lifetime warranty, but at least there's like the no hassle return policy. Because again, I say, if you're returning in Home Gym Physique, this should be something that's near and dear to your heart. You buy something, you spend a ton of money on something, it comes to your house, you're not satisfied with it, and now you're stuck with it. In a lot of cases, you're stuck with it. What if you can't afford to send it back? Remember, you just spent $2,000 potentially on a power rack. All right? That's the money you set aside for this. What if you don't have any extra money laying around that you can use to pay for shipping to send it back because there's something wrong with the power rack? that you spend all that money on. This is something that it's a bigger deal than people want to say, right? I'm going to say it again. Don't buy something just based on reviews. Figure out a way to try it in person before you buy it. I'm telling you. Now, I know somebody out there is like, yeah, well, that's Fringe Sport. That's Titan Fitness. What about Rogue Fitness? All right, we're getting to Rogue Fitness. We're getting to Rogue Fitness. All right, Rogue Fitness. We've already had one story about Rogue Fitness from Cart. Okay? So we're going to Rogue Fitness. And we're going to go down at the bottom. Now, one thing I would say that I like about Rogue when I went to their website, other brands may have it, but I noticed it with Rogue, is they have a thing showing recall information. That's good because they're letting you know about it. It's bad because that means they get enough recalls to have a section devoted to recall information. But hey, at least to tell you about it, right? At least it's updated. Hopefully it's updated. All right, returns and cancellations. Rogue's policy is you can return or exchange an unused item in new condition. See the pattern? Unused item in new condition. Has to include original packaging. Got to be within 30 days of delivery. If it's been used or damaged, they may deny your refund or exchange. So if you want to return something and you damaged it, they're probably going to deny it, which is fair. I mean, why should they take something back that you screwed up, that you messed up? But if it's used, look, again, they're saying we may not take it back. So what you would do if you want to return it is you're going to use their online returns and exchanges form. You want to initiate it, you click on that. I just clicked it. You put in your order number, put your email address, and then you click initiate return. And then it'll take you through, these steps. You select which items you're returning, confirm your return request. And what I saw there, obviously I can't click on it because I'm not returning anything, but they'll say you got to print your return form. Okay. Now, let's see here. Frequently asked questions. Do I need the original packaging? Yes. Now, they sell shoes and that kind of stuff too. So if you send them shoes back without the shoebox and with the shipping affixed to the shoebox, basically they'll charge you $10. If it's in new condition, like a shirt, you can send it back. What if I want to return the item after using it? No. Simple answer. We will not take stuff back if you used it. Do I need to pay for return shipping? Yes. You are responsible for the cost of return shipping. Do I need to pay for shipping both ways on an exchange? That's a good one. You pay to send it back like, hey, this thing sucks. Send me back another one. Right? In the continental United States, lower 48, customers are responsible for return shipping only. Oversized items and items that ship freight will be subject to return shipping costs. If you're outside the continental United States, you have to pay for shipping both ways. I'm looking at you, Alaska, Guam, Hawaii, Puerto Rico. If you order from Rogue Fitness and something goes wrong, you're going to pay for the shipping to send it back, and you're going to pay for the shipping for the exchange item to be sent back to you. Keep that in mind. Well, what if I got a defective part? All right, a defective piece. All right, well, there's a contact link. You can click on that. All right. How should I return oversized items or items that ship freight? Well, you're going to pay for it, but they have a link that you can click. And how long does it take to actually get your money? Well, if you want a refund, 3 to 5 business days for your return to be processed or for an exchange to be sent. Once again, you pay to send it back. So now you don't have the money you paid for the original item. You don't have the money you paid to ship the return/exchange back. And you don't have your refund and you don't have your exchange. And you're not going to have it. You're not going to have your money for at least 3 to 5 days, business days after they get it. So if they get it on a Friday, they're not even going to look at it till Monday. And then, 3 to 5 days from there. And then if they're sending it back to you, you're looking at 3 to 5 business days before they put it back in the mail to ship back to you, or the container to ship back to you. And you bought a closeout item. Can you return it? No. Will I be refunded for the original shipping cost? Shipping charges incurred as part of your online purchase are non-refundable when you're returning it. So let's say you buy something from Rogue. It's not 3 ships free. You got to pay shipping. If they give you a refund, okay, let's break it out. You're going to pay for the cost to return it, to ship it back to them. And they're only going to refund you the item cost. They're not going to refund you the cost of the original shipping. So if it's an exchange and you're in Hawaii or Alaska, they're going to refund you or exchange the item itself. You're still going to pay the original shipping cost, the cost to ship it back, and the cost for them to ship back the item to you. All right? I hope that all made sense. Home Gym Physique said, this is scary, especially with my lack of money. He said, I'm never buying gym equipment again after listening to these return policies. I'm not trying to scare you. I'm trying to tell you that it's not as simple as just going to somebody's website and saying, oh, that looks good. Click. Or I'm going to the website and let me use the room. What's the thing where you visualize it in your room? I use their online design tool. Oh yeah, I can see it. I can visualize it right here in my room, right here in my basement, right here in my garage. Oh, that looks fantastic. It's not that simple. You need to do a little bit more research. This is probably when I should give you a free plug for Home Gym Con. All right, that's right. You need to go to Home Gym Con because you get to try stuff in person before you buy it. You're gonna hear this again from me as we go through this show. Go to Home Gym Con. I hear from people. And part of the reason why I'm bringing this up now is, for one thing, I've never heard anybody else talk about it. And I'm like, this is an important topic. But also, I hear from people all the time. Why should I spend all that money to go to Home Gym Con? That's too expensive. Okay. You just see all the stuff I just told you about that you're going to be paying if you buy something and it doesn't work out. And let's say you're like, well, I just sell it on Facebook Marketplace. Guess what? You're not going to get all your money back if you put it on Facebook Marketplace. I guarantee you. Because the people who are on Facebook Marketplace are there because they're looking for a bargain. I have put $2,000 racks on there and said and sold and offered them $1,000, right? So half off the price of the thing new, and they're like, "Will you take $600 for it?" No, I take $600 plus $400. Get out of here. So if you're trying to just sell something on the online marketplace, you're not going to get 100% of your money back. Don't put yourself in that situation. Try it before you buy. If it's a company like Body Solid, they've got local dealers. Go to the local dealer. See if they've got the thing that you're looking for there. Here's another reason why people sometimes want to return stuff. Eric, I think, brought up the RitFit Hack Squat. All right. That's a product that some people have said doesn't fit them as far as their height. Right? So it shows up at your house, you put it together, and you get on it, and you realize that it doesn't fit you. So when Ashley Romiak, shout out to 332, when she checked out the RitFit leg press, and I got no problem with RitFit. They're doing a lot of cool stuff. But when she checked it out, she realized that the dimensions were off for her. So she had to either go on tiptoes or squat down in order to be able to put it back on the safety catches. Well, if I got that, I'm like, I ain't about to go through this every time I work out, so I'm going to want to return it, right? That's a situation where the product is not necessarily defective. The product is not damaged. It just doesn't fit you. So that would kind of fit in the buyer's remorse category, right? That's what they would call it, buyer's remorse. You kind of just out of luck. You out of luck. Oh, there we go. So so Carp said that's a good point. All these companies that advertise free shipping, shouldn't the return shipping be free as well, since that's part of their marketing? I told you. Carp does say it's baked in. You know how I'm always saying there's no such thing as free shipping? Okay. That's why they don't pay for shipping to come back, because there's no such thing as free shipping. There's no such thing as free shipping. Oh, hey, shout out. Kurt says he's back and he's listening while on a run. Hey, I appreciate you, man. Thank you. Eric said, well, Eric is tall. He's at 6'2". I feel like all the heights are perfect for me. Yeah, until you get a power rack that's too short. But I know you still got that Titan thing in your gym that we can't talk you into getting rid of. No. Remember I told you it's not an adjustable. No, those handles don't adjust wider. They're not. No, they don't adjust at all. It's fixed. It's a fixed piece, so no, they don't adjust. All right. Let's see. Who have I left out? Bells of Steel. All right. Bells of Steel. So let's go down to Bells of Steel. Scroll past Kayvon's smiling face. Now, Bells of Steel has a setup where they have showrooms, as does RitFit. Oh, I forgot about RitFit. I'll go check them out too. So I am looking for the return order. There we go. All right. So when you go to Bells of Steel, they don't have a specific section that says returns. What you need to do is go to frequently asked questions. And when you do that, that's what I did, then there's return order. Okay. Now you have to kind of figure out whether you want to click return order or report issue. All right. And when you do that, you're going to enter in your email or your phone number that you use to place your order. And then it's going to go from there. Right. Now, with that said, this goes into warranty. Spare parts. That's probably not it. No. All right. Warranty. Frequently asked questions. All right. Refunds. There we go. All right. So how do I get a refund? So click there to review the refund policy. All right. I'm clicking it. All right. I clicked it. Now I got to click that and click there. We'll click a new tab. All right. All right. Get out of here. All right. The return process. You want to contact Bells of Steel first. All right. So actually, let's back up. You have to, Bells of Steel is willing to refund within 30 days from the day that you receive your product. Okay. That's important because what if you order something and there's a shipping delay, then it arrives and there's damage. Okay. When it shows up at your house, you take delivery of it is when your countdown starts. Okay. For Bells of Steel. What they want you to do is pack your items securely in their original boxes, and they will send you a shipping label. Then they want you to drop it off at the closest freight or package carrier. So that right there sounds like the friendliest one so far. So then once they get the stuff, they'll refund you. So the return process. You contact them first. There's a problem, right? You click report issue. They will, if they determine that returning it is the best solution, they'll give you a return shipping label and a return merchandise authorization. You print it out, stick it on one of the packages, and then along with your return label. If you purchase it in person, if you're in Canada and you purchase it at the Toronto or Calgary location, you got to take it back to that location. Don't ship it back. Go to that location. But anyway. And then 30 days after you get your return, they have to receive it within 30 days of you getting that return label, shipping label from them, or it's going to be voided. Return's going to be closed. Let's say it's something that you cannot transport. Let's say you got a car and you got to return a Hydra to them. Okay. You got to figure out something because you will either pay for a U-Haul, bribe your neighbor to let them use your pickup, let you use their pickup or trailer, or you contact Bells of Steel and they'll arrange a pickup for a $20 fee. Now, we were all excited about the return shipping label. The return shipping fee will be deducted from your refund. The final refund will include your original shipping fee, unlike Rogue. With Bells of Steel, your final refund does include the original shipping fee and the cost of whatever the product is, but they're going to subtract the return shipping fee and any restocking or damaged product fees. For example, there's a 15% restocking fee for anything you send back to them that's not returned in the original package, or if you return it and you're missing some of the hardware. So you have to send them everything that should be with this thing. And they will confirm those fees before they authorize a return. Now, if you use it and it's damaged, they might deny your refund. Okay? But the process is you tell them within 30 days of you getting the product, there's a problem. They give you a shipping label. You have to send it back to them within 30 days. Then once they get it, you got to give them 5 to 7 business days for them to process your return and refund, and then they'll do a refund to the original form of payment, which may take another 5 to 7 days to appear on your card. Okay? Hey, at least they're going to send you an authorization form. So that may have been depressing to you guys, but this is the thing that people don't normally talk about when it comes to home gym equipment, apparel, things like that. And that is what happens if something goes wrong and you need to send it back. I think that honestly, best case scenario, if you get something, is for you to see if they can just send somebody out to repair the item at your location, and then you try to talk whoever the tech is. I ask Dennis is backstage. I'll ask him if he would go for this. See if you can talk. So let's say Dennis shows up at your house. He's like, and you're like, hey, I bought this thing from RitFit, and I don't know, the spotter arms are damaged. So Dennis, well, he probably wouldn't be coming to replace spotter arms, but something else is damaged with it. He shows up with the replacement part, fixes it for you. Then you can try to talk him into hauling it off, because hopefully he's got to deal with a dumpster or the local dump or something, so he can dispose of it. Because otherwise, what are you going to do with it? It's just sitting there, Now you got 1.5 because one doesn't work, right? And it's just cluttering up your house. So that's just something that, like I said, I don't think people consider when they're buying from companies. And I'm not telling you not to patronize smaller brands. I'm not telling you that at all. Smaller manufacturers, I buy stuff from smaller manufacturers all the time. I told you I just made a purchase from Freedom Fitness equipment on Friday. I just bought something from 4-6 Fitness. They're a smaller manufacturer. I'm trying to think what else I just purchased. I just bought something from Living Fit. Okay, they're a smaller manufacturer. I'm not telling you not to support these companies. I'm just telling you that, especially in the case of a large purchase, you need to do your due diligence and find out what the consequences or the process is. If we hope everything goes well, but you need to find out what the process, what you have to go through if something goes wrong and you have to return the product. I would love to hear from a brand. We have a couple of brands that are watching right now, and they're in the chat. If you guys are still here and you want to talk about your refund or exchange policy, we got a few minutes before I bring Dennis on. If you guys have like a comment, or if, like I said, if any of you guys are still, any of you guys are watching and you want to just chime in, you got a story to relate or whatever, or a company that you want to shout out because they have a good return policy. I don't always want to, we don't always need to complain. If a company treated you well in the return process, please shout them out, because that's one of the ways that you can, you know the saying, you get more of the behavior you reward. We want to reward companies that do the right thing and who treat you well. So if you know a brand that treats customers well in terms of returns and exchanges, and it's a home gym brand, please drop them in the comments and I'll put it out there as well. I'm still looking for the names of organizations that are supporting veterans. This is Memorial Day weekend. We're going into Memorial Day weekend, so any companies that are supporting veterans or the families of fallen servicemen and women, and you know about them, please go ahead and put them in the chat because I want to shout them out on this weekend. You know, it's the absolute least we can do. Absolute least we can do for people who paid the ultimate price, sacrificed their lives to the country. You know, support organizations that are helping their families. So there's that. But as I said, as far as this stuff with the returns, try before you buy whenever possible. Do not just take the word of somebody from the internet. If you can attend Home Gym Con, do it. Because don't think about it as I'm spending money on a hotel and a flight and all that. No, you're saving yourself money because you'll come away from there as an informed consumer. Would you buy a car without ever test driving it? Even Carvana sends it to you and you test drive it before you accept it. Home gym equipment costs as much. Some of this stuff costs as much as a used car. Heck, some of it costs more than a used car. So, hey, be smart. You got to make adult choices. Okay? All right. Now, one other thing. This is a react respond. So, I got to say this other thing, too. This is a little different. Slightly different topic. Before we bring Dennis on. I realize that I'm old. Because a lot of the stuff that you guys get excited about doesn't excite me when it comes to home gyms, right? So I started my home workout journey in 2001. And it's you know, one of the things that goes along with starting your home gym journey at the turn of the century is you ain't into all this fancy stuff, right? And I bring that up because I got an offer from a brand called Lumeri. Never heard of them before this. And apparently they make smart recessed lights. So I know what all of those words mean by themselves. I didn't know what they meant together. All right. So I looked them up. And I certainly did not click the link in the video that they sent me. But apparently, and I'm going to screen share from their YouTube channel. Okay, so you guys see right there, I got the sound off. But apparently, so these are the lights up in the things, and they'll do that. So I'm not sure that there's a lot going on in that bedroom. Let's see here. All right, so you can control it with your phone. And then, yeah, so this is the one I got that got my attention, right? Apparently, back up some more. All right, they have multiple scene modes and music sync, so the lights will flicker and change on along with the beat of the music. Okay. Now, to some of you guys, that sounds fantastic. I, on the other hand, saw that. I said, man, that sounds like the most annoying and distracting thing I could ever imagine. There's no way I would want that within 100 yards of my home gym. I'm in there to get stronger. First of all, I'm in my 50s, okay? I don't need any distractions. I'm trying to get stronger and faster and harder to kill. All right? And I do not have time for all these lights. I know I see you guys. Hey, shout out to you too. I don't yuck another man's yum. I see some of you guys with like all the disco lights and stuff in your home gyms. More power to you. I'm just picturing myself trying to get through a set of bench press and the lights are changing strobe lights in my eyes while I'm trying to then get through my sticking point and the beat is going. I can't. No, I don't even like when I was competing powerlifting and they have like the fireworks and sparkling. I don't even like that. You know, I'm like, man, cut all of that junk off when I come out. You know, don't try to entertain me. Okay, don't try to entertain me. Let me just lift. Okay. Hold up. Here we go. I feel like I'm sending the wrong message. Eric says, I think I need this in the icebox gym. No. Hey, look. No. I'll give you the link, Eric. If you want it, I'll give you the link. Dennis, you supposed to be drinking coffee. You ain't got time to be in the chat, Dennis. Talking about garage gym transformation. Kurt says, back when we were a proper country with light bulbs had filaments. You dang right. Okay. Torches, dadgummit. If a gas light was good enough for your great grandparents, it's good enough for you. All right. It is not okay to boogie while pumping iron. Absolutely not. I don't have a problem with you dancing between sets, but I'm literally picturing like these strobe lights. I'm trying to make it through the dang set, and this stuff starts to go. They don't even let you play video games. You know, like you get the warning thing on video games that flashing lights can trigger like epilepsy or something. Why on earth? I don't have epilepsy in Jesus' name, but why on earth would I want lights flashing in my eyes? I tell you what. Hold on. Who's the one that said, Eric, DM me your address. I'm gonna come over there with a flashlight, and I'm gonna flicker my dang mag light in your eyes while you bench pressing. All right. I won't even charge you for the trip. I just, so long as you let me video the experience. Let me just come up there and flash this strobe light in your eyes. I'm gonna use the light from my shotgun, and I'm gonna just flash it in your eyes while you're benching on your last set of bench, and I'm gonna just flash it, and you will see if you like that. That way, if you turn out not to like the experience, you didn't spend any money. I'm trying to help you. Okay, I wouldn't do this for just anybody, but I will do it for you. Just DM me your address, and we'll work out. I'll come there and we'll make it happen. Okay. Yeah, I just brought it up to like all products. Hey, look, I'm not knocking Lumeri. Good luck with your business, but you know, maybe research the content creator before you reach out to him. Because yeah, that's not a good fit for me. Not a good fit for me, dog. All right. And if you are watching from Lumeri, I'll put you in touch with Eric because he wants it. Okay, there you go. All right. So it is 7:57 Eastern Time. Let's go ahead and shout out to the Mountain Time Zone. If you're watching on YouTube, please consider liking this video and subscribing to the channel. If you're watching on LinkedIn, do me a favor. I have put the link in the video description, but please go follow the show page, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life, so you can stay up to date with everything that we're doing here on the show. And also, if you are a brand that you're a provider of home gym related equipment, even if it's recessed lighting, and you'd like to come on the show to be a guest on the show, please reach out to me on LinkedIn through the show page, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life, and we will make it happen. I'll bring you on. The goal of this show is not only to talk about the topics that matter to the home gym community, but also to give brands a chance to come on here and let customers and prospective customers get to know the brands, because people like to buy from brands that are run by people who they know, like, and trust. And so I'd love to help you become trusted by your target audience here. And Eric said he's on board. So Lumeri, if you're watching, I will respond to you with Eric's contact information. But first, I'm gonna go to his house and I'm gonna flash my light in his eyes. With just safety reasons, we gotta check him. All right, Dennis, are you ready? All right, Dennis gave me the thumbs up. All right, so this is our only guest of the day. Well, technically the second guest of the day, because we did have my guy Matt on for Recliner Rage, but this is our first official guest of the day. And Dennis is actually a returning guest. Dennis Solis is actually a returning guest. In the past, Dennis has been on to give advice related to his business, Home Gym Tech Support, which sets up, maintains, and repairs home gym equipment. But today, he's here to talk about a very special project that he's doing in collaboration with RitFit. And this project is called Garage Gym for Vets. So he recently did a casting call, and that I actually shared it on Facebook in our in my unit's Facebook page, private Facebook group, and I shared it there. So this is, like I say, it's an exciting project specifically for veterans. And let's go ahead and I bring Dennis on, let's go ahead and check out this clip. All right, so that was the clip from their casting call, kind of like promo trailer thing. And as I said, this is being done in collaboration with RitFit. So let's go ahead and bring Dennis on, and he's going to tell us all about the project. Show your love.
What's up? Morning, guys. Good morning, everyone.
So I gotta tell you, Dennis, did you follow my advice this at 5 a.m.? Look, I'm a solutionist, Dennis. You came to me with a problem. I gave you a solution. Did you follow my suggestion? Any of them? You did?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what y'all don't, so then I'm assuming, okay, so was it because of the baby that you had to stay up late?
No, I work for a major corporation, and just my schedule is kind of crazy.
Okay, so you were just up late because of work.
Yeah.
All right, so Dennis is on the West Coast. All right, so right now it's 5 a.m. for you, right?
Yeah.
And so, what, 2 hours ago? I think.
Yeah, it was about 3 hours ago. Yeah.
No, 3 hours ago, Dennis messaged me and said, "Hey, I gotta be on with you at 5 a.m." I'm like, "That's the time you picked." 5 a.m. his time. I said, "That's the time you picked." And he's like, "Man, I just went to." He said, "I'm just now going to bed." I'm like, "What are you doing with your life?" Right? And so I gave him what I thought was helpful advice. I said, "All right, you need to set all your alarms, including the car alarm. You can pay a crackhead to do anything. Okay? I told you should pay a crackhead to hit your car, to bump into your car at 5 a.m., maybe 5:30.
Yeah.
You know, or you know, that way you'd be able to hop up, or 4:30, and you hop up and you be able to, hey, just put that solution in your pocket. Next time you know you got to wake up, everybody got a neighborhood crackhead. Find that person, identify that person, slip them some money and say, hey, look, in the morning, I need to get up, man. I just need you to come by my house, and I just need you to jiggle the handle of my car door real quick. All right? And then you feel free to run if you want. Oh, yeah, they'll definitely come over there. They got no problem. They'll come when you don't invite them. So, yeah. So I know they'll come when you invite them. All right, but let's so I appreciate you getting back up. And you got to work today too, don't you?
Yeah, I go back in today.
Look at this dude. That's a hard charger. That's a hard charger right there. So let's not bury the lead anymore. We're gonna dive right into this because my man's tired. I want you to get a little bit of sleep. So first of all, this is something for veterans, and you are a veteran of the U.S. military. So some of this stuff I already know, but everybody else doesn't know. So for the sake of people who don't know who you are, when did you serve in the military, and how long have you been out?
I served right after high school from 2005 to 2009. And I served in the military. I served in the Navy, and I did 4 years. I did 1 year like training, just like everybody else. You go to boot camp in Chicago, do all that fun stuff. And then I finally got to the fleet. And when I made it to the fleet, I was stationed in Japan, Yokosuka, Japan. So that was pretty cool. I'm meeting a lot of new guys and creating friendships. There's still like a couple guys that I on my very first ship that I keep in contact with, and it's just nice to see them like on Facebook every once in a while. They have like posting a picture with their family or something. So that's always pretty nice. But there's like a whole different side where like veterans we need a lot of help, and that's why I'm here to help to discuss that and to maybe even help somebody out, personally, or somebody that's nearby. Oh, I actually done that. Yeah.
You have done that. Yeah. Heck, Dennis helped me out when my son and I were trying to figure out. This is a product that he had. So it was a prototype product. So you guys may have seen the review of the Major Fitness. This prototype that they sent to my son, and I was like, "Well, it's a prototype, so there's not even there's not like an instruction manual for assembly. Right? You gotta figure it out, right?" And that's his first time ever putting together a power rack. And Dennis was good enough to let me FaceTime him so he could kind of give my son some tips, and he was able to put it together. So I appreciate you for that. But specific to your experience as a vet, talk about your initial experience after you separated from service, because like you said, you make connections with people. People who've served know that that's like a pretty big deal. You make some tight bonds with people who you might never have gotten along with otherwise, but then you meet them, and you kind of hit them. Especially, it's funny because sometimes it's the person who's like the most opposite to you in personality. You end up getting along with them. You're like, if I saw this dude like as a civilian, we wouldn't have. There's no way. But for some reason, that becomes your buddy, right? But then you get separated from service. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say these situations. I think like we're all kind of like onions, like the layers, the top layers kind of like fold away after like maybe a situation or a conversation, getting to know somebody a little bit better. It's like, oh, okay, I see the layers unfolding, and it's a little bit sweeter now.
And then the next thing you know, you're like going to their house to have, like you become friends with them, So, so then you leave that environment though. And I had a sense of disconnect when I got out. What was your initial experience after you separated from service?
Yeah, so my initial like feelings are just, if I could summarize kind of the experience of getting out. I was never afforded TAPS. So TAPS is like a transition assistance program to help veterans, transition from military life to civilian life. I never received that training. And it was a true disconnect from the normal routine every day. You get up, you go work out, chow, formation, work, blah, blah, blah. So the routine, the camaraderie, and just like the general like objective or direction in life, because I believe like we get older, we have to have something in our lives to keep us pushing and to keep us going. So that's something that was lost, transitioning from the military to civilian life. So I totally feel you on that.
Well, okay, but how did you overcome it? Because like for me, what happened is like I got more involved with my church. They actually ended up, I started like they had me teaching a class to the kids, and then from there I got more and more involved in the church, and so I felt like I had a purpose beyond just it's not just your job. Yeah, I had a job that I did, but it's like I needed like you join the military because you're wired a certain way, and typically it's because you have a sense of service, right? Well, then you get out, and you no longer have a reason to serve anybody. You don't have a purpose anymore. So for me, it was like finding a sense of purpose. How did you overcome your situation?
I really had to join so the whole purpose of me getting out was to go to college. So I went to college and joined the community, or like recreation for vets community there. And I really dove into education because this is like me being real. I kind of grew up grew up poor, and a lot of times like my parents wouldn't oversee me going to school, even from like a young age. From like I didn't go to kindergarten. I never went to first grade. I finally went to second grade. So education was kind of like something that was really lacking, and was very like an insecure part of who I was. So I had to throw myself into education, business, and development. That's how I found kind of like my footing in the civilian life. Like I said before, you have an objective, you have a job in the military, and you had to find something else. And that's what I did for myself. I threw myself into education, and just from simple courses. I took an accounting course. I'm no accountant, but I just enjoyed the challenge. I enjoyed the aspect of like me being around different people and seeing how their brains work. Because as somebody who's kind of like, I pride myself in putting things together, like even just obviously fitness equipment. I put fitness equipment together, but like putting teams together and organizing like this huge project that we're working on. All that, putting things together, assembling things together, that's what I really enjoy. And if you could kind of like step back and see how other people manage and their workload and put it together, you could utilize that for like a bigger project. And that's why I found like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Maybe I could use that guy's expertise for something, greater down the line. But that's the only reason I found any sort of like mental stability is through education.
Got you. So when you were saying that, it occurred to me that I need to connect you with my guy T-Dog, because he has the Two Disgruntled PMs, T-Dog 19, it's Trevor. He has a podcast called Two Disgruntled PMs. And I think you would actually be, so that's project managers. And I think you'd be a good interview for his thing. So I'll connect you guys. I don't know if Trevor's still watching. He's watching earlier. I don't know if he's still watching, but I will connect you guys when the call's over. Anyway, so you mentioned the like the projects and stuff, and you've been working, as I said, in the home gym equipment and installation and repair business for several years now. That's what you were doing when you reached out to me, because you reached out to me on LinkedIn about this project that you're doing now with RitFit, right? Like that was, so I still remember like you were like, hey, I want to do this thing. And now years later, it's like, what, 2 years later?
Yeah, 2 years.
You're actually doing it, right? So,
what?
But the pathway to that, though, I love that, because the pathway to that was that you started doing videos. You were doing videos for your YouTube channel. And I was like, oh, that's a good idea, because you were doing assembly videos showing people how to assemble equipment. And you're also doing like little tips and tricks, like, oh, well, if you got this, sometimes you'll have this happen, and this is how you fix it, right? Like, for example, you were talking about like a treadmill, the belt on the treadmill slipping because people have the treadmill set up going across the slope of the driveway. I mean, of the garage floor, which is sloped, right? So that led to you doing videos for our channel, which led to you connecting with RitFit. And so now you actually did a fairly big project for RitFit, and then we see them in the casting call video. So what was their reaction when you approached them, like, hey, by the way, I know I'm doing this thing for you, but what about, I got an idea. Would you be interested in this? What was their reaction did you approach Tom? Like what was your approach? Like when you said, hey, I got this thing I want to do. What was their reaction?
Yeah, you framed it very well.
I don't feel like I did, but yeah.
Well, you did really well, because everything that you had said mentioned that chronologically it happened. Like that's exactly how it happened. But yeah, so
that's because I'm a storyteller. That's what I do. I'm a wordsmith.
You're pretty good at it. I mean, you're doing a really good job.
No, go ahead, man. I continue.
But let's see. Let me find my train of thought.
So you approached RitFit and said, hey, I'm doing all this stuff for you. I got an idea. And they said,
so RitFit hired me to build their showroom in Chino Hills. Right. So that's why we got in contact, and we were starting working together. So like mid-project, while things are like being erected and pulled up from like 5 guys are like just pulling some struts up and erecting them. While they're doing that, I'm like tapping Mr. Lin and Tom on the shoulder, like, hey, what do you think about this idea? They're like, get to work. I'm paying you to get to work. Yeah. But it really was just a collaboration, and I think they saw my sincerity in what I can bring, the audience that I can reach, and I think it was just like these key words that I said that really like strung true, or like kind of like made these people look at me a little bit different, which is, I just want to see your success. And when they said that, like both of their head, Mr. Lin and Tom, those are the CEO and CFO respectively of RitFit, and their heads just kind of like popped up and they postured up like what? Who? What is this guy talking about? I explained to them my idea of creating a YouTube series to help veterans battle mental health, physical health through a garage gym transformation. And I wanted to use their product to highlight a veteran who's, well, this particular episode, this veteran is not really like, he's not in hard times. He's not down on his luck. He's just, I wanted to approach it like a Mike Rowe situation where Mike Rowe is very humble and asking questions and making sure that Michael, you will meet Michael, the Marine Corps veteran, just to highlight his story, that he's the hero and that we're just here to support and help him, and that we're not the heroes at all. We're just trying to help him. And so when I told him that aspect, or like that kind of like a little bit different approach to marketing, they were really interested. They said, anything that you need to like make this happen, let us know. So I've been in contact with their marketing team. Summer's been awesome. If you're watching Summer, thank you so much.
Oh yeah.
And everybody.
Summer is awesome, man. She's always like, first of all, she never just shoots ideas down. She'll listen to you and she'll like, okay. And then, I mean, she won't make wild promises either. She'll say, let me see. And then she'll reach out. She helped, like when we had Bashir on the show, it's because she coordinated it. He didn't know who I was. She coordinated it. She was instrumental in putting me in touch with Tom. So when you were at I think I talked to you, I FaceTimed you, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, look, and I had, that's when I found out that you were doing their showroom, because Tom, you showed me the phone and Tom was standing right there. I said, oh shoot, okay, this is cool. So yeah, but go ahead. We just had to stop and give a quick shout out to Summer. Go ahead.
And then from there, it was just like we had lunch. We went to La Bufadora. It's like a pretty cool like Mexican burrito spot. And yeah, we had more conversation about like professional development. And this is so funny because I received this backhanded compliment yesterday. I always receive this backhanded compliment. It's like, Dennis, you're kind of smarter than I thought you were. Like, bro, what? This is the most backhanded compliment.
Hey.
I can't even tell you how many times I get that a year. Like, maybe like 3 to 5 times a year, honestly. It's like, bro, okay, thank you. I appreciate it.
I guess, yeah.
I guess.
Thanks, I guess. That's hilarious.
But the conversation was good. We had lunch, and then I just really believe that they fell in love, but like they really appreciated what I was bringing to the table, the value that I would be able to bring them, and of course I'm paying for everything, so it's like this is my passion project. This is bootstrapping. I really believe in this project, and if the more people I can help, that'd be awesome.
So let's begin with something. Well, there's a comment from Cart. So the equipment may not be for everybody, but shout out to RitFit for getting involved in the home gym community. So for those of you who don't know, RitFit is giving out gift cards at Home Gym Con as prizes. They're sponsoring just about all the events at Home Gym Con, all the competitions at Home Gym Con. They have done a ton of things. They've actually, on a personal level, they've sent stuff to family members of mine to hook them up. They obviously have sent stuff to us to review. And I want to say something too, man. So there's a Bible verse. It's Zechariah. Let me not screw this up. It's Zechariah 4:10. I know the verse, but I don't know the reference. It's Zechariah 4:10. It says, "Don't despise the day of don't despise the small beginnings." And it basically is like, there's an instinct with us to see like we want to be here, but there's sometimes you got to do the little things to get you there, right? And I still remember, like I said, I got you. I remember reaching out to you, like, hey man, would you be willing to do this video on it's a RitFit Smith machine RitFit Smith machine power rack combo. And you're like, yeah, sure, okay. All right, so you did it. And then RitFit has another smaller imprint called Tough Fit. And I said, well, they got these dumbbells. Would you be willing to do a review on these dumbbells and a dumbbell rack? You're like, okay, sure. You did that. You did that too, right? Well, that's how they found out who you were. And then that led to you doing the project for their showroom. They're like, oh, this guy knows what he's doing. So they say, okay, well, go ahead. We want you to take charge of doing our showroom in California, which is a big deal because that's their California showroom. That's how people in the US are going to like view them, right? And then that gave you the opportunity to finally say, hey, I got this project I've been wanting to do, which you had first mentioned to me on LinkedIn, for you to finally be in place to actually present it to somebody who could help you with it, right? So if you hadn't done all the little steps in between, you're not doing this now, right? And I know that you said you're bootstrapping it, but they are providing some stuff along with it too. That's what I mean. It's a partnership, right? So, hey, Rory, you just in time. So I just want to say, number one, shout out to you, because not only did you not give up, but you were willing to kind of baby step it along the way, but you're still tackling it head on, right? Everybody can see your passion, especially after when I first met you. I can see your passion right away with the LinkedIn messages. Now, here's the question. Our community as veterans has been taken advantage of by numerous organizations. So we sometimes are very suspicious. I mean, we're a paranoid bunch anyway, okay? Like, I mean, for real. You notice, all right, put it like this. You notice, those of you who are watching, you notice that neither of us are sitting with our back to a window.
Yes.
Okay?
Yes.
My
absolutely.
window is over there. Dennis doesn't even have a window around, all right? That's a door behind you, but I bet you it goes into the house, not to an exterior. Okay.
Yep.
So we're a paranoid bunch anyway, all right? I know how many steps it takes for me to get from where I am right now to my pistol, okay? Why do I know that? Because I counted it off, all right? But now you're reaching out to a group of people who are sometimes mistrustful. What's been the response from veterans when you reach out to them with this, what might sound too good to be true? And also, while we're at it, tell people what you're actually offering them, because I guess we should have mentioned that. What is it that you're giving veterans, and then what's been their response?
Yes. So what I'm giving veterans is an opportunity to take back their life. I know it sounds kind of dramatic, but I feel like we need to start with the dramatics and kind of tackle a situation. And like you said, tackle it head on first. And so I believe that, a little bit of struggle kind of helps everybody along the way. But what I'm offering is basically an opportunity to receive a garage gym transformation. And that's including the flooring. I provide the flooring. I obviously provide the service of putting everything together, like the flooring, the installation of the flooring, the installation of the mirrors, installation of the lighting, and installation of whatever. I'm just going to use Smith machine because our last episode was a Smith machine from RitFit. And so we get to know you a little bit. We have a little discussion. We get to show you walking through the showroom of RitFit. So we have a little segment of Michael, the veteran, and I walking through the RitFit showroom, showcasing what they've done this past year. And you get to choose what you want. And then in the next few days, I show up to your house and I build a gym for you. In less than a day, a crew comes in, we interview you, we get to talk to you, we get to figure out who you are. And at the very end, you're going to show us how this exercise machine can help benefit your life in some way or another. And I know that's like a big ask because the response I'm getting is like not. I thought it would be like really well received, but it's really not. Like you said, we're a shifty bunch, and we're very like
Oh yeah.
apprehensive to trust anybody.
Oh heck yeah. Kurt's in there talking about it takes him 0 steps to get to a sidearm. I mean, look. I mean, granted, now the pistol, my sidearm isn't actually a weapon. It's a tool I use to get to my weapon, which is the shotgun, which is a little bit further away. But it's still within easy. I still get to it fast. Kirsty here talking about 0 steps. Rory's like he faces the entrance, the exit when he's eating at a restaurant. I'm telling you, people think, and people are like, "How are you so paranoid?" I'm like, because when you watch the news and you see like some tragedy happen, you're like, "Oh man, that's horrible. How could that happen?" And I look at it and I'm like, okay, well, what do I need to do to make sure that doesn't happen to me?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So that's how we think. So anyway, so Kurt says RitFit is easy to work with. Rob is actually doing a review of their all-in-one, the RitFit all-in-one rack right now. He says RitFit is very easy to work with. And he said it's a great first impression. Let's see. And so let's see here. And there we go. I knew there was one that you're going to say. Said so. Rob says, I'll be following and looking at Garage Gym Perfects for sure. He said, lots of respect for this gentleman.
Oh, thank you, guys. Appreciate that.
And we're going to talk about where people can watch this because you're teasing people, and I want to know where to watch it, right? Now, because I think you just mentioned that you got an episode. You started shooting episodes. How many episodes do you have?
Just one.
Okay, so you got the first episode. Is it done, edited, everything is ready to go?
No, still raw footage. So
Monday, so you got to edit it.
Yeah, so Monday we're scheduled to edit. So last week we filmed. This week I just had to get back together with like my work and just the family and get back into like the daddy mode.
You got a newborn. Yeah.
So
shout out to the baby.
Thank you. Yeah, man, the love of my life. It's just crazy though. But yeah, like getting back into the routine. I had to get back into the routine this week, and we'll go back at it Monday. So editing Monday.
Okay. So let's just figure out the layout because I remember when we did the documentary, we did the Y Project. I shot a lot of it with my phone because budget, right? And everywhere I went was somewhere I could drive to because budget, right? What's your camera setup for this? And another reason I'm bringing this up is because if somebody's watching and they're a brand that they want to get involved, you know, they want to send you a camera or whatever, they need to know, like, well, what are you doing with what you already have? So what's your camera setup? Do you have a crew? You keep saying we. So do you have a crew or is it primarily you doing it? You know, talk to me about that.
It's kind of embarrassing, but yeah, it is. So I say we, it's just like corporate talk. It's really just me.
He said, by we, I mean me.
You know, you get trained, you know, on LinkedIn. You're like, this is a specific way to speak.
We're doing this. Okay, I got you. So you're doing this by yourself. So this is truly like, what's that guy's name, man? Like Quentin Tarantino is notorious for having like these little projects where it's just him, and he was just kind of like. And another guy did it like where he, no, it was Quentin Tarantino where he shot an entire. He said he's going to shoot an entire movie with his iPhone just to see if he can do it. Oh yeah. I'm telling you, you can do a lot with all this stuff. So it's basically the setup is you show up at the person's house, I guess, and you shoot it with you just pop off the camera. You're like, hey, it's me, don't shoot. And then you go in and you pretty much film. Is that what's going on?
Yeah, I mean, no, I have a camera crew.
Okay.
So
You said it was just you.
Well, it's me financially responsible for
No, I'm talking about like I want to know like who's actually there. Like seriously, do you have a camera crew? Tell me like about that. Like what's logistics, whatever.
Yeah, I have a camera crew, and then we've been in contact with the manufacturer, of course, contact with the veteran, and a crew that is there to like help build. So there's like two crews, the building crew and then the camera crew. Camera crew
Okay.
is in charge of like my lines. They're in charge of my lighting. They're in charge of cameras setup.
Of course, yeah.
I do like the whole like scene development, and I created like what's that thing where you like create little pictures and then it's like
Your
the little
storyboard?
a storyboard. I created the
Yeah.
storyboard. What else? So yeah, I did all of
Yeah,
that,
so
and
somebody else does like the blocking and all that stuff, and like, hey, this is your spot. They put the marks. These are your marks, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, I got you.
they're responsible for all of that. And so,
So you're essentially like the executive producer.
yes, and
Okay.
they're asking me like 1,000 questions at the same time.
Yeah,
Like I'm trying to build something at the same time. Like I'm putting up lighting, and they're like, "Hey, what do you think about this lighting aspect?" I'm like,
right now, nothing. Get away. I got
"I'm
you.
trying to put this TV stand up." Let me hold on. One
I
second.
understand. It's like a So now you have like new respect for, like whenever they have like an actor who also directs the movie, you're like, dude, that was good.
Yeah.
I got you. But this is, like I said, man, this is when I said this is an ambitious project. Like I told you, we did a documentary, and it was me and my son, my youngest son, and Joaquin and I did the entire thing, went to multiple people's homes, all the stuff we're just describing. It was me and him. That was the crew. We like the lighting, all that. We're doing all of that. We had literally shop lights.
Yeah.
Like literally like little shop lights. We didn't actually have lights because we couldn't afford it. So I think that what you're doing with this is fantastic. You're using your resources. How many days does it take to shoot it? Is it just a 1-day thing? So far?
It was so far it's a two-parter. The first day we went to RitFit showroom in Chino Hills, and Michael and I and the camera crew and Michael's family, they came out. We had a good time taking photos and just kind of like running around, playing around, and Michael's son, his name is Cade, or his oldest one's name is Tate. So Tate was kind of like running around doing pull-ups and using the boxing bag, and it was just so cool to see like a kid, because I have a kid, but she's still very little. But it was so nice to see like a little kid explore this space where I have like a true affinity for. Like I love fitness, I love bodybuilding, and I love striking, like hitting a bag, and to see a little kid kind of like enjoy himself and explore himself in this area, I was like, oh, that's pretty cool. Like maybe there is hope for the future.
The youth aren't doomed. You're starting to sound like an old man, Dennis.
I know.
Come on now. When you graduate, don't sound like me now. I was coming back from deployment when you graduated from high school. Okay, so don't start sounding like me. You're too young to sound old. Let's just talk about this logistically. Now you see like kind of like what you're getting into. And to be honest with you, it's probably good that you didn't know what you were getting into when you started. Because you probably would have been like, oh, later for that. But now that you kind of have an idea based on the first episode, how many veterans do you want to work with this year? Yeah, we want to work with all of them, but I'm saying realistically, because you're going to Home Gym Con. So realistically, how many veterans could you work with?
From now until Home Gym Con, probably none. I can't.
No, I'm talking about for the entire year.
Oh, okay. So like for the overall goal, I would like to interview 50 veterans, one from each state, kind of like a symbolic, nod to the 50 states, the country, the nation as a whole. And but right now, if you're in Southern California, if you're a veteran in Southern California watching, please, I want to help you. So I have my warehouse is in Riverside. Our office is in Rancho Cucamonga. So yeah, we're like a Southern Inland Empire company. I say we, it's just me. Your
camera crew counts as we. You got a camera crew, you got people building it. It's we. Yeah.
And
we'll talk offline, Dennis. I'll tell you what to say.
Yeah, so if you're in Southern California, I'd love to help you. I want to hear your story, and you got to be open to sharing your story. It doesn't have to necessarily be the sappiest, saddest story where, some guys, they get truly hurt, injured, and they go through like stuff through the VA cannot help and support them and bridge that gap between them coming from a space of being hurt to a space where they can heal. So I kind of like want to help bridge that gap and by providing like a garage gym, or it doesn't have to necessarily be a gym where you're bodybuilding or you're lifting weights. It could be a gym where I've done things where children have sensory issues, and so I created a space in the garage that was sensitive to that aspect, using like material for like a rope or material for a swing versus using a rope or a chain, because the child just didn't like it. Like their sensories were just going out of whack. Padding things that are just normally wouldn't be padded. So like the walls, of course the walls are padded like in a grappling gym, but like in a home gym, the walls aren't usually padded. But that was something that the client wanted, so that was pretty cool to do that.
I think I think there's potential. So some people don't think about like even like I was talking about the lighting earlier, but you can even do that with like lighting, because sometimes people with PTSD, like the flashing lights, you can't handle that. Can't handle loud noises and flashing lights at the same time. Bad things will happen, And so I think that you having that experience, it seems like it would make it easier for people to open up to you so that you can actually help them. Is that accurate?
Yeah, and I want to be transparent and let them know, like, and just the companies I work with, or the one company I work with, RitFit, they're a Chinese company.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah.
But I will let you know, like the CFO, CEO, they're just good people, and
100% agree.
like they're really in it for the home gym community, and this is something I say all the time. Anything for the home gym community, because the home gym community helped me in a hard time. So and then I could see a manufacturer, a company, a global level company doing the same work. Like it was just a no-brainer for me.
So let's talk about the scope of the project. All right, I know you've only done one so far, but the intent is, I assume, obviously you're going to install the stuff. Do you then plan to come back and check on the person and say, hey, man, I'm going to check in on you in 6 months or 3 months or whatever, and just see how you're doing, see if I need to tweak something? And would you film that as well? Like, what's the commitment?
Yeah, so there is like some skin in the game where the veteran agrees to, like another transformation. So this is a transformation, not only a space or physical space transformation, but a body transformation too. So we want to have, the client, or we want to have the veteran allow us to come back and film them either with their family in their kitchen prepping meals, and we could capture that, or we can capture like just like a body transformation where you're standing in front of a camera. We do a 360, and we record you and record your responses as far as what are some of the things that you notice about the transformation in your body leaking over into your personal life. Are you a better father? Are you more present? Are you a better boss at work? Are you a better coworker? Any of these things, because we all know like the benefits of physical wellness spill over into every aspect of your life, and I can attest to that many times over.
All right, so let's talk stolen valor for a second. Are you guys working with the VA? You mentioned the VA a couple of times. Are you guys working with the VA?
That would be awesome, but no.
Okay. All right. So how do you guys verify? I know there's like GovX. So how do you verify somebody's actually a former member of the U.S. military?
I was just thinking about this yesterday when I was making not a grilled cheese, but a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. I'm like, what if Michael isn't a veteran? I was like, this just struck me like last night. Yeah. And I was like, what if Michael isn't a veteran?
I need to see your DD-214.
Yeah.
I mean, so potentially, I would say have you talked to Andrew from GoRX?
Yeah.
Yeah, I would assume that he's got some resources to help you for that. But I would say honestly, hit up GovX. You know what I'm talking about? Because you hit up GovX, you've got to get what you call it. You got to verify or you got to submit your stuff to be verified through GovX. So you could try that. Hey, so yeah, Manu Parks and Jim, Jason works for the VA, so he might be able to help you too. I mean, I know people who work for the VA as well. I'm just saying, like in terms of an official. And keep in mind, if somebody's watching this, keep in mind that this is a passion project for Dennis, and I'm obviously a veteran, and so I'm passionate about helping you get this done. But I also want to make sure the resources go to people who actually need it, and I don't want somebody who just, I feel for somebody if they've had some other reason why they're going through stuff, but we don't want somebody to pretend that they have this background just so they can get free stuff.
Yeah, that was
that's an insult to our brothers and sisters. So yeah,
I want to apologize. That was a total misstep on my part. Like I should have done something. Like
I don't know. I mean, this is something that you're workshopping, man.
Yeah,
it's cool.
But
so let's try this. So how about this? First of all, Rory has a very important question. He says, "Do you work with the Air Force as well, or only the real military?" That is him going at Kurt, okay? Because Kurt just got out the Air Force.
Hey, you guys are firing shots. Oh man.
It's been nonstop in the comment section. I'm just telling you, it's merciless right now.
You guys are crazy.
But yeah, I would say honestly, I would, Andrew Towers. Shout out to Andrew Towers and GoRX. Let's hit him up because he might have a way to help you out. And then also, I mentioned several organizations like Mission 22.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. You know what? I read Rory's comments. I got to read Kurt's comment back. He said big words from someone who claims to be active duty. And that's because Rory is National Guard. Anyways, but I think, and we are on LinkedIn right now. So if someone has a solution, an easy solution, please, hit Dennis up. His LinkedIn contact information is in the description for the video. And if anybody doesn't know how to get in touch with him, just reach out to me and I will put you in touch with him. But I think that Mission 22 will probably be a good resource. You say, hey, I'm doing this. I think a lot of times when you approach somebody and you say, hey, I want to do this, that's when you get the pushback. But when you're like, all right, I'm already doing this, I just need your help to do it better. That's a lot of times they're willing to help you out, right? So Mission 22 might be a good one to reach out to. And VetWad.
Yeah, DAV. We have a DAV.
Yeah. Go ahead.
But just like my work is just.
Yeah, but that's because you're doing everything. I know, but you're doing everything yourself. What I'm saying is let's use our resources and delegate a little bit. Where this is just me helping you out. Because you might be at work and they can help you out.
I would love that if you guys could really help me out. That would be awesome.
Yeah, really. That's why you're on here, because we're in the infant stages of this project. See how I said we, and I mean it. So we're in the infant stages of the project, and the reason why we're on LinkedIn is because if people can come alongside you to help you out with this, I think it'd be awesome. And you're already actively shooting. You shot one episode, and you're helping this guy. It's like, okay, let's go ahead and in fact, Kurt, when you go to Kurt says he's going for a meeting with GoRX. Tell Andrew I'm gonna shoot him a text about this. Because you got to go to bed, Dennis, before you go to work. All right, so let's go with this. What I want to end with this, and if you guys have questions about this, go ahead. We don't have to end right away, but I just want to use your time wisely, because I appreciate you being here. Give me some information. Number one, where will people be able to watch the episode?
So I created a YouTube channel called Warrior Transformation. Okay. Warrior Transformation is the overall concept of this, of me helping veterans transform from the military life to civilian. Now, the show is called Garage Gym for Vets.
Okay.
So you'll be able to find Garage Gym for Vets on the YouTube channel Warrior Transformation.
Okay.
And yeah, so that's just where it's gonna be.
Okay.
It's the cheapest platform. So
No, it just so basically, will you send me? So you're gonna send me the link. I'll add the link to the video description for here, and then we'll get people to and that way people can watch it. All right, that's one. Second thing is you're going to be at Home Gym Con. What is it that you're going to accomplish by going to Home Gym Con besides meeting me in person and laughing at all of my jokes?
of course. So Home Gym Con is kind of like a little different aspect. Yes, I am there to showcase, my part of my business is like building, repairing treadmills, fitness equipment, whatever. But I'm there to contact other businesses and propose like a package marketing deal where we use this vehicle to take over maybe like 6 months or a portion of their marketing strategy. And they use this to help promote or connect and advertise their product to a different audience, an audience from which I believe we've been underserved as a veteran community. And I believe that there's a lot of gumption behind the support of our troops. So I believe it's a really good deal from the aspect from like a business aspect, like, hey, maybe we could use this to connect and of course spread our brand. Okay. The second part for me would be to connect with other content creators who would want to be part of the show. So the first episode is me hosting the show, but down the line, I would want to hire a host to help the veteran because I'm not a professional actor, and that'll come through. You'll see that in the video.
I mean, but you know what? That's authenticity. And well, actually, you know what? To be honest with you, this is probably more stuff we should be talking about like offline. But I can see it like as we're doing this, like working through it in front of everybody. You're also, like you said, you're trying to help build equipment, and then people are coming to you and say, hey, what about this? And what about the lights and whatever? So the more you can say, hey, well, let me hand this off to somebody else, the better, more efficient the whole process is going to be. So yeah, I get it. So we have people like when you come to Home Gym Con, you'll be able to, I tell everybody who's coming to Home Gym Con who I know, I'm like, I'll introduce you to everybody I know. And you'll have people there who are editors, who are content creators who shoot video. They're really good with shooting videos. And then you got people who just have contacts who are like, oh yeah, I mean, like Major Fitness will be there. I realize that they're a competitor to RitFit, but they'll be there and they've got resources, and and other brands will be there that may be willing to partner with you in some way. So yeah, in fact, you got to volunteer. Rory says, I don't make the best equipment for this application, but I like to help in any way I can. It sounds like a great cause. So Rory makes the Megalift handles, basically a home gym product. And I think it might actually work because you may have somebody who's a veteran who has physical limitations. And so the Megalift handles might help them out. So there you go.
I'm sorry. I don't know what's going on. It's lagging. I don't know what's going on. Sorry.
I don't know. I don't know.
Shoot. Let me try to get my phone.
Fernando got a hold of your internet.
Oh no.
Go ahead. Hey, I tell you what. Yeah. You still there? All right. I tell you what. I'm gonna take you off and mute you. And then just give me a thumbs up when you get that sorted out, because we're about done anyway. We're almost done. I just want you to come back so you can do final thoughts. So hang on a second. Go ahead and see if you can work that out. All right.
Okay.
Get that one. All right. There you go. All right. So you switched to the phone. Okay.
That was weird. I don't know what's going on.
Fernando got a hold of your phone, your Wi-Fi, man. But so Rory said, anyway, so Rory volunteered his services, and also he's got a brand. As I said, he's actively serving the country right now, but he also owns a brand that makes a product, the Megalift handles. So he said he said we can definitely talk to Home Gym Con. And here's the other thing you got to look at too. Rory may not specifically make a product that you need, although I think it's a great product for this, depending on what the veteran's physical capabilities are. But he also knows people because brands happen to know brands. You know what I mean? And so, I think that there are a lot of ways to make this happen. So I think it's just a matter of connecting you connecting with as many people as possible who are willing to help out with this, because this is, again, it's a labor of love. It's not like you're making money off the project. You're actually giving out of your own pocket for this. And so you're doing something about it as opposed to waiting for somebody else to do something about it. So I'm so proud of you, man. I really am.
Thank you.
Which is yet another statement that makes me sound old. Excellent.
Well, you're the catalyst, to be honest. You are the
What?
one putting all of this together, because if you and I had not met, like you were saying earlier, like in the show.
Yeah, but you reached out to me. I'm not the catalyst. You reached out to me.
I mean, it's my drive, right? But like you were the one link that I could go back and kind of like, if I could trace steps back to like how things began in this project, you were one of the first people I've ever spoke to. So thank you. I appreciate you.
Okay, you're welcome. You're welcome. You can see, like, I'm like not comfortable right now. I'm like, but you know what? I also, I don't want to like belittle what you just said. So you're welcome. It's my pleasure. Remember I told you, I don't know if you remember me saying this, but remember I was like, the thing with my platform is, it's not for me. It is, but it's not. Remember, you'll know this phrase when I say this, like, if I grow, you grow, we grow, right? Yeah. And I truly mean that. So anyway, that's this special moment's officially over. Okay, so if somebody wants more information, give them, like, how can they get in touch with you? What's your LinkedIn? How can your LinkedIn, your email, everything? What is it?
My LinkedIn is Garage Gym, the number 4 vets. And my email is, what is my email? fitnessworks@gmail.com. So FITNESS, fitness works, WERX @gmail.com. And I know you don't like this, but people, you could call me, text me. I'm the casting director. I'm everything. If you want to be one of the veterans who are,
you will not give out your personal phone number on the internet, Dennis.
All right, I won't. Fine.
Remember that sleep you said you're not getting?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to help you. Okay.
But yeah, that's it. You guys find me on YouTube at a Garage Gym for Vets, TikTok, Garage Gym for Vets, LinkedIn, Garage Gym for Vets. And I'm really it's a real effort to try to unify and create like a unifying front socially. It's a real effort. But yeah.
So you can do, like, I just thought of it. I'm sorry to cut you off, but I think it'd be really cool too to show like the behind the scenes, like the making of, because people will think that, people think that stuff is hilarious. Like, and they like, well, how did you make, like all the stuff that goes into it? It'd be pretty cool. And I meant to say that you already have an editor, right?
Yes.
Yes, somebody who's gonna edit the video. Okay, cool. All right, because I was like,
you guys will see. I mean, as part of filming, maybe not everybody else knows, but filming, you gotta have silence around you.
Yeah.
But you'll see that there was a gardener going ham on every house but ours in the video, and it was like, oh my God, nice guy.
That's part of it, man. That's cool. That's all right. And there's nothing wrong with that, man.
That was hilarious.
I think that's probably stuff that you can just leave in. You're like, look, I can help you. That's cool. All right, man. I'll let you get out of here and go get some sleep. I know you've had officially 2 hours of sleep, but that's where the Navy time helps you, because you've done this before.
Yeah.
You've done this to yourself before. All right. So it's cool, man. Hey, I'm very proud of you again, Dennis.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming on here, and we'll bring you back on when the episode debuts. Just keep on sending me the links and stuff, and I will keep on updating everything. And like I said, we'll bring you back on so I can I'll bring you on to talk about the first episode. And if you want to bring Michael on, with you.
Michael has 2 kids, and yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
I got more kids. Well, I got grandchildren. I'm on here. Come on, I don't feel any sympathy there. You wait that boy. You tell him I said, hey, harden up, though, dog. All right. Hey, man. Take it easy, my man. I appreciate you.
Bye, everybody. See ya.
All right. Go get some rest. All right. That's my guy, Dennis. Dennis is one of the most humble people I know. He's always, you guys can see how he's constantly like making light of what he's doing. But this is really, just imagine if all of a sudden somebody told you you had to shoot a documentary and you've got 0 filmmaking experience, how you would feel. But he is committed to doing this because the project is important, and I love it because he was like, I don't see anybody else doing it. I'm gonna go do it. So you gotta love that, man. Eric says, by the way, I went to Lumeri and there was a promo code auto added to my cart. Did you hijack my Google? No. First of all, that's your fault for going there. I told you not to do it. I told you I was supposed to come to your house with my light and strobe light you in the eye with the center fire a few times first, so we see whether this is right for you. You try to skip steps in the process. So, just remember you asked for this. Anyway, let's go ahead and shout out to the West Coast where Dennis lives. It's about 5 minutes till 6 your time. Thank you for getting up way too early with Garage Gym Life, and I appreciate all of you who have been on with me this entire time. Told you it was another fun episode, and that is our show. Thank you to my guest Dennis Solis, who came on here with 2 hours, actually less than 2 hours of sleep. So I appreciate him for being on here. One more time, if you've not already done so, please support the show by liking the video and subscribing to us on YouTube. No matter where you're watching it from, go to YouTube, subscribe to Garage Gym Life Media, follow at Garage Gym Life on Instagram and Facebook. And if you have a LinkedIn account, please visit our show page, Up Way Too Early with Garage Gym Life, and give us a follow there as well. Next week, we have got my guy, Michael Tabors. Jungle Gym Reviews is going to be joining us to talk about how he's growing his YouTube channel, his favorite products to review, and more. Michael's another content creator who you guys said you wanted to see on this show, so I'm excited to get to know him and find out more about his journey. As always, share this episode that you just watched with somebody who might enjoy it, and make sure you set your alarm clocks or pay a crackhead to wake you up so that you can get up way too early with Garage Gym Life next week. So next week, keep on stacking days.